This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Thank you. Way to go, Sean. And just like, hey, you're on.
Kept going.
Well, you know me.
You know, we started the conversation late in the intro, so my fault on that.
Exactly. And starting a conversation with me is dangerous because, you know, I don't know when to shut up. So that's my problem. So anyway, welcome aboard, folks. Yeah, baby. We are rocking and rolling from beautiful Hialeah Park. You know, it's amazing because I went to Hialeah High, okay? 82 at 85. Proud thoroughbred. One of the things that we did a lot in Hialeah is we did PE in the gym a lot because it rains a lot. So I get out of West Kendall now, right? And there's like a couple of little drops. So I'm not getting wet at all. You know, whatever. I get in the car, put my stuff, take off. And as I start driving, brother, it starts raining harder and harder. And at one point on the highway, the visibility was like, I don't know, 10 feet in front of me. It was bad. And then I get to Hialeah, which is like the city where it rains the most in South Florida. Okay? Hialeah is home of rain in South Florida. I'm just telling you, it's the law. I don't know what happened, but somehow or another, when they decided to kind of break up how rain breaks down in South Florida, West Palm to Miami, I don't think Hialeah is behind anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's the way it was when we were in school. And so I'm figuring, oh my God, it's going to rain and it's going to rain. I'm going to get a Hialeah. I'm going to have to get off and it's going to be pouring. And I got my umbrella there. I fell to the floor there. And so when I get here, when I'm getting off the highway to get into Hialeah, there's no rain. And I was like, yeah, baby. I would figure it was going to be raining even harder here in Hialeah. And, how about that? No rain whatsoever. So we got lucky, which is a beautiful thing.
It was like me when I was unloading the equipment. I'm like, okay, all right, let's go. And then I was able to get in without any raindrops getting on me.
Nice job.
Unlike the fair yesterday, by the way.
Oh, yeah. On the way out, right? You had rain. Yeah, because I know that it got ugly when I left, it started to get ugly.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. 7, the show ended. I was done at about 8 doing the audio. Yeah. Then I started leaving. I left there at 8:47.
Oh, because you were waiting.
I had to wait. I had to wait it out because I couldn't even get the car close to where we needed to get to. So, so it was it's a fun time, the rain, the good old rain.
Yeah. So a little rain. Although it's good for the plants and everything out there. Although, by the way, all the rain and snow out west, good for all of you out there because all the reservoirs and everything are refilling up. Lake Mead, everything. And they're expecting more over in Lake Mead because once the snow melts, they're expecting more to come in. So it's actually
a lot of mobsters resting easy now.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of stuff got recovered up again, and nobody's searching for any more stuff underwater now that some of it has been covered up once again. Anyway, so a lot of things. Well, actually, not too many things to talk about today. To be honest, it's there's not a whole lot of issues going on in sports. So we got all some other things that we'll talk about. We got opening day. Marlins will open up in 55 minutes. Not that most of us care or have any hope whatsoever. And that is the part that sucks, by the way. That's the part that absolutely takes the wind out of your sails, is that the baseball season has started and your season is over as a Marlins fan. You know what I mean? It's fun when Judge is hitting a home run today and you're a Yankees fan and they spend $300 million every year in a payroll. It's fun if you're an Astros fan. It's fun if you're a Red Sox fan. It's, fun if you're a Dodgers fan. Yeah, there's a couple of teams around the league that it's fun when it's opening day, but really spring, is it really that hopeful for the Tampa Bay Rays? Are they going to win all of a sudden? No, they're not. They're not going anywhere. And so that's kind of the part that sucks, is that I'll watch baseball and I'll watch the Marlins, but I have no more hope. And the season hasn't even started, and I have no hope. How terrible is that? At least with the Heat, as the season evolved, I figured out, okay, now I know they're not really that good, and whatever they get to the playoffs, they're not really going to make much of an impact. And but that's after knowing, and you watched them last year at Eastern Conference Finals. So, at least you had some hope. The Panthers had the best record in the league and got to the second round, and then they added Kachuk, but they did make a whole bunch of changes. And then we figured out who they are. By the way, terrific win last night by them. That was fun. Yeah, huh? Yeah, that save Lion had, like, I want to say it was like a 3-minute mark or 4-minute mark. Dude, he had a nasty save. It was awesome. Anyway, as I digress, and at least with those teams, they've done things, they've committed to things, and they gave us a little bit of hope, and then we figured out what they are as the season has gone on. But with the Marlins, there is no hope. And that's just depressing. You know what I'm saying? Just depressing. There's no hope, and then there's no money to really get you to hope. Oh, and by the way, the front office hasn't really proven that they can actually produce bats in the draft and develop them. They've done a pretty decent job with pitching. That's for sure. They've got a good staff overall, but they don't have enough bats, and they certainly don't have the money to go out and buy, enough bats. And I give them credit. They traded some pitching in order to get a young bat in return. And I thought that was really smart on their part. I'm going to commend them when they do some of the right things. But in the end, we all know Bruce Sherman does not have the pockets in order to turn this around and make us care about baseball. That's the thing. And we can get to that point that we can care about baseball, but Not the way they're going about it. There's no way that that's going to happen, unfortunately. So we'll keep you updated. Max Scherzer taking on, Sandy today, 4:00, first pitch. I think the over and under for wins is in the mid 70s for them. I would probably go. It's tough because that's right where I think they're going to be, right in the mid 70s. Yeah, I don't think they get to 500. I don't think they even have enough to get to 500, but I think they go to mid 70s, and that's the problem. The over and under, I have an issue with that one, overall. So, but it is opening day, and I'm sure I'll watch. Maybe I'll watch a little baseball when I get home. No, I'm saying it starts at 4. We get off at 6. By the time I get home, if it is faster,
might be over.
I should not have a game. Yeah. I should just replay.
You can hear it on the radio.
Yeah. I can listen to the radio. Yeah,
maybe. I've been watching it because I get Major League Baseball TV for free because I'm a T-Mobile user.
There you go.
So I've been watching the games they've been going on. Just follow them, just because nothing else is on right now. So boom.
I watch it.
I can watch any game I want right now. I just hit my handy dandy screen, whatever game I want, boom.
And you don't have the Yankees on right now?
No, I'm watching the Yankees over here.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Tampa Bay to start. I think they're 3-10.
Okay.
So here in a minute they start against Detroit.
Okay. All right. You know what I didn't do is I didn't make a fantasy baseball team this year. I was thinking of doing that. Just so I can have a little, dude. I mean, I know. I'd rather follow my team than the Marlins.
Yeah, but it's such a big commitment.
Oh, it is.
Baseball fantasy is a big commitment,
but it's fun.
It is if you're
it's every day.
Yeah. If you can stay on top of it. If you fall behind,
cool. It's like super cool.
Like 1 year for 2 or 3 weeks, I was great. I was hitting it.
Yeah,
doing good, and then
you lay off a couple days and you mess up and. You didn't put the right middle relievers in, or you didn't put the starter in that you had, and he was on the bench.
And by the way, I took a picture of today's standings because the Marlins, are officially on top of the division.
That's it.
With everybody else. But hey, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow, actually, tonight, we might be 1-0. Yeah, we got Sandy on the mound.
This is one of those days that chance, you can win.
Tomorrow, take the picture.
Scherzer owns us, but
Sandy's not that bad.
Exactly. So this is and it's early in the season, so maybe
you're not going to get Scherzer for 7 innings more than likely. Fried in Atlanta, their guy, he already left, a hamstring injury.
Oh, okay.
So he pulled he's holding the back of his leg. I haven't heard what it was.
Scherzer is a bulldog.
Yeah.
So he's a tough sumbitch. He is tough. I see Jamie Zorria in the house, number 1 out in San Jose. And he reminds everybody, yes, please smash the like button. Very important you smash the like button here and get the algorithms going. Dougie Fresh is in. He says, how can I be the man when you're the man? How can I be the man, you the man? Frankie Fresco in. If you ever need wrestling advice, Big O is your man. How did I do yesterday? Which? Huh? I took Garcia, right? Oh, no, I went with Reno Reigns, bro. I went with... Oh, that's WrestleMania. I went Reigns because of Reno Reigns.
Yeah, it was Adam Cole and Garcia in AEW.
Right. Adam Cole and Garcia...
I can't remember how you went about coming up with who you picked. I can't remember who you picked, though.
Was it Adam Garcia?
No, it's Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia.
Oh, I think I went with didn't I go with Adam Cole?
God, come on. Where you at, Frankie? Let me know who he went with. I'm trying to hope somebody was going to jump in.
Frankie, did I go with?
I cannot remember who you. I just posted it too, and I should have remembered, but. I remember you went Roman Reigns.
Frankie asked me.
Oh, no, I think you did go Adam Cole because I said you're wrong on the Roman Reigns.
Yeah, because Danny Garcia doesn't sound like a wrestler.
Yeah, I said you're 1-1. I think that's what you did.
Yeah. Danny, as far as I'm concerned, Danny Garcia is a producer. Not a wrestler.
I see what you did there.
There you go, Danny. You're out there, baby. Much love. Knight, thank you for the love in the super chat. Opening day at Tropicana is a big deal here. Why, everybody brings orange juice or something? Why is it a big deal? I'm not sure. Why would it be a big deal when you really have no shot? It's, the Rays are like, it's like Halle Berry. That's what the Tampa Bay Rays are. They're Halle Berry. And then you're like, well, wait a minute. How can the Tampa Bay Rays be Halle Berry? Well, this is the worst scenario of Halle Berry in your life if you're a man. Okay? You're standing somewhere and there's a glass that's about 47 feet thick. And she's on the other side saying, if you can get through, you can come on over and join me. And you're like, you can't cut through 47 feet of glass, so you can't get to Halle Berry. So you can't get to maybe the most beautiful woman in the world. And so that's the Tampa Bay Rays. They win a bunch of games. They tease you, but they never really get it done. You know, it's just one of those things. You're going to fall short like going through a 47-foot, glass wall, basically. That's what's going to happen. Somebody's calling me from Bonita Springs, Florida. What do you think that is? You think they want to sell me some car insurance? They think my warranty is up or something? Timeshare? They're still doing that? I haven't gotten a timeshare one. The best is when you're getting a call and it says Egypt. You're like, what the? Sorry, dude. I don't know anybody in Egypt. Nothing against our Egyptian friends, but I don't know anybody in Egypt. It's like, weird, man. Weird, buddy. Weird. Anyway, so I don't know about the Rays. Your season's over already. Adam Cole, he got it right. Of course I got it right. Nobody can predict wrestling like me. Knight says, again, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, before Brady, all they had was a decent Rays team. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Although the Tampa Bay Storm had their success in the Arena League. Right? I think that I want to say the Tampa Bay Storm won maybe a couple of titles in the huh? No, it's Tampa. I mean, they don't have a lot. They got only a couple things to lean on. So, outside of the Bucks, they can't lean on USF. That is some bad football, bro. That's a bad program. They should have never fired Levitt, bro. They should have just put him, on double secret probation. Hey, don't be putting kids in a shed anymore. Okay? We need you as a coach. That place never recovered from that. Big O, your wrestling prognostication rationales are simply amazing. I try to spread the word and help you guys out there. Big O, Marlins 2-0 in World Series, Rays 0-2 in World Championships. Yep. Yeah, but there's a difference. The Marlins went with like real complete teams to the World Series, where the Rays, they go with, a group that they kind of put together and they hope that everything falls into place. It's a shame, unfortunately. Oakland A's and Giants games all baseball season. Baseball is the best in person. I'm going to go hockey. Hockey is the best live sport. I think baseball, basketball, and football are all TV sports, to be quite honest. I think hockey is the greatest live sport that there is on the planet. Okay? The best. Hockey. That's the one you got to go live. That one does not get justice on television. Television improves every other sport. It was nice to see Lone Depot with people during the World Baseball Classic. Well, that's the only time you're going to see him. Okay, so now the call is coming in from Columbus, Ohio. Huh? It's LeBron? Okay. Could be. Could be the people at Hall of Fame. Close. In Columbus, yes, they told us, yes, Columbus is in between both. I think that somebody said that. Yes, I think somebody told us to stay in Columbus. In fact, next month I will be getting our Airbnb over there. What else do we have? Big O, the games in baseball are 30 minutes shorter than last year. Well, we hope. Let's wait. Let's wait till it actually starts the real deal instead of spring training. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But I hope so. It looks like the rules are good for it. It's not going to do anything for the game, by the way. It will do zero for the game. It's not going to bring any more fans in it. at all. Will not do that. So just in case, if anybody is thinking that the rule changes are going to all of a sudden help ratings and more interest and all of that, no, it'll make the game more bearable for the people that watch it, is what it's going to do. But baseball, marketing wise, and all the other things, they're not even coming close to football, basketball, and soccer.
The first game is pitched off at about 1:10. It's now 3:19, so we're about 2 hours
And 9 minutes.
9 minutes. The Giants Yankees are in the top of the 8th. The Braves Nationals are in the top of the 7th.
Okay.
So
pretty good pace.
It's a good pace. And the Braves Nationals had an injury that took a little bit, but the Giants Yankees seem to be going through pretty solid.
I mean, and listen, when you have like an Alcantara and a Scherzer on the mound,
well, that's the other thing, yeah.
You know, you should have a faster game overall.
And the difference in that game is actually the Giants haven't scored yet. So I don't know how they're doing it. You know, if it's
so they've gone right through.
They don't have let me see here. They have
so they don't have how many hits do they have?
So I'm checking right now.
Yeah. That always helps too. Any game. You know, if your pitchers work it well and
they got 4 hits so far.
Yeah. So they don't get any hits and they're mowing them down. And so that will also help out when you have good pitchers on the mound. That's going to help your baseball game moving along. I mean, normally when you would get out of a game within 2.5 hours because somebody pitched well, you're like, damn, this is great today. This guy kicked ass. He shut him down, and we got out in 2.5 hours. Wow, that's awesome. And it's hard. It's hard. Dougie Fresh says, calling you from a darkness retreat in Columbus. Get me out of here. Knight says, Big O, let's put it this way. Traffic downtown St. Pete is tighter than a tick's ass. Mel says, are you moving them down? No, because you have Cutter's Edge. There you go. Cutter's Edge. That's the way to go. Call William and Mike at Cutter's Edge Pro. I'm telling you. Right. Anyway, Andy Behrens will join us at 4 o'clock. So we'll have some fun with Andy, and we'll talk all things with Andy. Sports. Do want to remind you, Nature Bee is a proud sponsor of our program, folks. And if you're looking to, get that libido going a little bit more, maybe a little allergy relief, less stress, how about boosting your immune system? That is very important in today's virus-filled world. So you're going in from a hot place to a cold building, changes of temperatures, you get wet sometimes, you go into another building that's cold, you shake hands with people, you're touching dirty knobs, all these kind of things go on, man. You're grabbing the gas handle, all these things that are full of germs. This is why you need Nature Bee, folks. And the benefits of bee pollen are, it just goes, it's endless. You can go and read about it yourself. Go to naturebee.com/Big O. And right now we're going to give you a 100-day supply for only 85 cents a day. So it's $85 for 100 days. You'll be covered for over 3 months. That is awesome, folks. And it's great for a family. Kids can take it. The adults can take it. You can't OD on it because it's 100% natural. You only need 2 a day, but if somebody grabs 30 of them, nothing's going to happen. They're just going to be really healthy for a long time. It's a beautiful thing. Go to naturebee.com/Big O. Use our code there and get the 3-month supply. Well, it's over 3 months because it's 100 days for $85 plus. We're going to give you a free Manuka honey lip balm. So check it out. Go to naturebee.com/Big O and try what I've been taking for over 20 years. My daughter's been taking it. My wife's been taking it. Everybody takes it. There you go. What else do we have going on? Odell Beckham. Folks, you can step up now. I mean, maybe the Dolphins should do it, right? There'll be some Dolphin idiot out there, some fan that'll say, let's do it. Odell Beckham has lowered his request for a contract. We told you about a week and a half ago, it was at $20 million a year. So Odell now understands that the market hasn't responded. So he right now is, bringing out a blue light special for everybody in the NFL right now. You can have your very own Odell Beckham. That's right. If you want a knucklehead on your team, if you want an idiot that wears jeans on a boat in South Beach, if you want a moron that fights with the kicking net, and then after that proposes to the kicking net, yep, you are looking for Odell Beckham. And guess what, folks? He has lowered his asking price to $15 million per year. You can have the unreliable, injury-prone wide receiver for your team for only $15 million a year, folks. Step up. Wait, there's more. You'll also get a head case. You'll also get a guy that's unreliable. You'll get a guy that's often injured. All of this for $15 million. I mean, what are you waiting for, NFL teams? Step it up. Let's go. Get your own Odell Beckham for only $15 million per year. What a bargain. Holy moly. That guy's expecting somebody to step up. I mean, I hope somebody does, because then I can rip them for years to come. Right? Who would pay Odell Beckham $15 million at this point? That dude is still living off that one-handed catch from years ago. Wow. It's beyond me. $15 million. Woo! That is awesome. It's fantastic. That is that I'm sure there's at least 10 teams lined up now that he lowered it to 15. In fact, they'll probably battle for him, and he'll get 16 or 18 from somebody now. Yeah, that's next. Holy moly. Any chance Alarmo could play offensive tackle for our Fins with his shield to protect Tua? Yeah, Alarmo would be a hell of a right tackle. He would be awesome. I wonder when Lamar is going to make the same announcement. Let's see. Bradster says, good afternoon, people. Odell for $15 million. What a bargain. LOL. I think we should sign Lamar and pair him up with Odell. I did the math, Big O. Despite the off-the-field bullcrap, statistically, Watson dwarfs Lamar in every way. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But Watson is a better passer than Lamar Jackson. Watson's problem was off the field, not on the field. Remember that. That's the difference with the Deshaun Watson stuff was all off the field. You know, nobody questions Deshaun Watson as a quarterback. Okay? Maybe the time off, and he didn't look good last year, and now he's got another offseason to sit on. That might take him out of his rhythm, you know, but the difference is that when you look at Lamar Jackson and you look at Deshaun Watson is a true quarterback. He's a real quarterback. Forget about the scummy stuff that we know off the field, okay? Whether it's true or not or whatever, it's disturbing, it's whatever. But I'm just talking about the athlete, the quarterback, the player. And that's the difference right there, my man. And that's why you can't compare the two passers. Deshaun Watson is a pure passer. He's a real pocket passer. He runs because he has no choice. Lamar Jackson has to run in order to be an effective quarterback. His passing game complements his running game. Without the running game, Lamar Jackson cannot be a quarterback in the NFL. And that's the part that I think we have a lot of people that they seem to not understand. And you know, when you have all these idiots on television or writers or any of these morons in the media, and they're saying, oh, I can't believe teams aren't lined up for him. Well, they're not going to line up for him. Because if you sign Lamar, you have to change everything on your offense. So there's only going to be a couple of teams that might be willing to do it. There's only going to be a couple of head coaches that might be willing to do it. And you're only going to find a couple of offensive coordinators that might be willing to do it. It's now, if you take away the off-the-field concerns from Deshaun Watson, every NFL team that needs a quarterback goes after Deshaun Watson. because he's a real quarterback. He's actually a pocket passer. And that's the difference. And that's the part that people don't understand. And when you have some of these arguments with people that are so pro Lamar Jackson, especially down here, since he's from here, they get blinded because he's the hometown kid, right? But all you got to do is say what I just said earlier in this whole thing. One guy can make a living completely from the pocket, and the other one cannot. So don't tell me that you're actually a pure quarterback when you can't make a living from the pocket. Because that's what I need my quarterback to do. Sure, does it help that you can run when you have to and you have no choice? Awesome. But if it's by design all the time, I want no part of it. Because I know where it ends up. Injured. You're done. They broke down Cam Newton. Lamar Jackson's half his size. And Cam Newton is built like a house. That's the difference, man. And that's where people just kind of get hung up with all this crap. Get too emotional about it. Man, I'm way too stoked for the Dolphins season. Never paid this much attention during the offseason before. Well, I've always paid heavily to the offseason, to every part of the Dolphin season. But I am really, really jacked about this season coming up. Yeah, and let me, I want to explain some stuff, because coming off of that conversation with Mike Silver, and if you haven't seen that video, you should watch that video. It's a great interview with McDaniel. He was so open. But one of the things that in that interview that they talk about, and this adds a little bit more to the spice of this coming season, is that, remember, when he put together that tape and he noticed what he saw in Tua and he loved it and all that kind of stuff, he then, talked to his people in the front office, and then they were like, we got to go out and get some offensive linemen. Okay. And then he was like, we got to get some after the catch weapons. And then he went back and created that tape to show people, because remember, he tells Mike Silver, I don't want to be the guy to tell everybody, hey, no, we're going to do this because I say so. He didn't want to be that guy. So he went and got the tape, made a tape, all right, offensive plays mixed in with San Francisco plays on what he wanted to do, so he can get everybody in the front office looking at his point of view. And so that's what they did. They went out and got weapons. They got the running backs, one in the offseason, one during the season. They got Tyreek Hill, obviously, that they added. They were adding Cedric, too, before that. So they were adding weapons, right? And then they went and got the young kid, the tight end, that can run like the wind. He's super, raw, and we'll see if this year he's able to take a step forward. But they went and got weapons. This year, I'm convinced that they're going to do something with the offensive line now, because they don't really need weapons outside of a tight end. So that second round pick, more and more, I'm thinking it's going to be an offensive lineman. And that third round pick is going to be that tight end. Because remember, they have their project that they like. And clearly, Mike McDaniel likes the project. So if he thinks that the project has a chance, he's not really going to go for such a high pick. So I think that second rounder, that 51st pick, I think it's going to be a lineman. More than ever now, I am convinced it's going to be a lineman. When I hear that conversation with Silver, well, you got your weapons. You don't need it. The front office and everybody else wanted to improve more of the line. I think they're going to try to do that. So, and I know that you're wondering, well, wait a minute, they haven't made that move, and I think it's coming in the draft in that second round. I think they must like certain guys that are there at that spot in the draft, and they think that they're going to get themselves a pretty damn good player on the offensive line. And then there's a slew of tight ends. So they feel like they'll get one at 77. And I think that that's what's going to end up happening. I think you're going to see a little bit more improvement on the line overall. And then you've already got the weapons and the quarterback and the system already in place. And that's the beauty, too, that all these guys get to come back to the same scheme this year. And I think that's an enormous positive. There must be a plan in place to add another lineman or two to this mix. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Sean?
No, because I was going to ask you because, they showed pictures of Greer and McDaniel at the pro days of Penn State, I think in Alabama and a couple other ones. And they're talking to tight ends. Do you think they're kind of throwing a smoke screen?
I think so. I think
like they're looking at the, offensive lineman as well, but everybody thinks they're focusing on the tight end. So
right.
Let's feed it, and then we drop.
I think it's the third round is where the tight end goes.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think at 51, you're going to have an opportunity to get some linemen. And at 77, it just becomes that much harder for you folks. As you all know, I'm not, I don't need to, break any news here or anything like that. You guys know what the hell I'm talking about. So you're going to see, and you're going to notice that when it comes to tackles, there's probably enough in this draft in the second round that you're still going to be able to grab some guys. Whereas in the third round, you may not have the same depth at tackle. And that's where, I think things kind of change a little bit. That's why I'm saying, if anything, I think that's where this team ends up going. They go tackle in the second round, and then they go tight end in the third. For me, that would be that would make a lot of sense. What I'm honestly most excited about is watching a proven DC run his squad. Yeah, you got Fangio, bro. That is just absolutely amazing. Tucker Kraft could be there in the third round. It's a possibility. Okay? There'll be several guys in the third round. He'll be there for sure at 51. Guaranteed. He'll be there at 51. Big O, if Tua plays all 17, do you agree he passes for over 4,500 yards? Yes. Yes. I would like that number. Yeah. Yeah. He missed, 5 games, and didn't he hit 3,000? Did he hit 3,000, I want to say, or 2.9 or 2.8 or something? Tell me how much he threw for in this season. Because he missed 5 games, so he played 12. Technically. Right? Because he left early a little bit on one of them. That's why. So it's really, maybe 12 and a half, actually. Oh, researching now how one cuts through a 37-foot thick glass wall. It's going to be hard. When you can find out how to do it, tell me. 35, 48? Oh, 20. You what? Say it again. Oh shit, dude. He had 3,000. He had 3,528 yards. Yeah, I know the 25 and 8. So if he had 3,500 yards, easily with 5 more games, he gets 1,000 yards. Yeah, he might be pushing 5,000 yards. Yeah. He might be pushing 5,000 yards if he plays all 17. That's what I think ends up happening. Big O, if we get a tight end in the second or third round, what do you think of the narrative? It takes 3 years to develop. It takes 2 to 3 years for any player pretty much to develop. Okay? Some take 4. And some show up right away. I think that's unpredictable. That's Kader Kohu. Undrafted Division II, and you played him right away. And he did a pretty damn good job overall. You can't predict that stuff, dude. Noah Igbenogany, never got it. Been in the league for 4 years. Here comes his 5th season, and the kid is completely lost. Absolutely lost. It's really hard to tell. Christian Wilkins probably busted out in year 3. 2, it was a turning point, and then 3 was kind of his bust out season. Yes.
No, I was going to say, but with the tight end with Mike McDaniel, You have Smythe. You have what's his name? Beaufort.
Oh yeah, Saubert.
Saubert. I'm sorry.
Sobert.
So
Sobert,
you
I
have
think it is.
those two veterans.
Right.
You can make packages to, bring the tight end along. You don't have to just throw them out to the
Right.
Wolves. And with Mike McDaniel,
Good point.
also I think it comes down to
And you can
the
trust
coach
Smythe.
scheming too as well. I mean, sometimes coaches are just like, look, this is my system. Go out there and learn it, or you're sink or swim. I think with Mike McDaniel, he would, bring him along easier than just
the project Tanner Connor.
Yeah.
He had him open twice.
Yeah.
He schemed him perfect,
Yep.
and then the kid dropped it.
So I could see that happening, and then you have Smythe and them for the more complex plays, and until he works in as it goes instead of throwing him just straight to the Wolves.
I'm intrigued by Tanner Connor because I want to see what kind of progress he makes because he can fly like the wind, dude. If that kid can turn the corner, it's hard, man. Marino came off the bench and just kicked everybody's ass. You know what I'm saying? And then there are some quarterbacks that maybe Drew Brees took him a couple of years, like his fourth year is when the light went on. The year they drafted Rivers. And what are you going to do? It happens. It's really hard to predict. Look at Shannon Tindall. Could not get on the field last year. Hopefully this is the year that he figures it out in year 2, and then he's off and running. Brandon Jones. Year 3 was the year that he started to turn the corner in covering, and then he got injured, unfortunately. He was a good safety overall against the run and blitzing and all those kind of things, tackling. He's really good at that. But he lacked a little bit in coverage. And year 3 is where he really started to show. Everybody is different, man. It's really hard to predict when somebody's going to turn the corner. You just hope they turn the corner as soon as possible to justify the pick. So let's see, what else do we have? Smythe has one bad play all year. The fourth down, that was bad communication between him and Tua. Yep. Big O, this Saturday starter for Marlins, Edward Cabrera, had some great stuff. I was watching him in the spring training. He has some starts last year. Yeah, no, I know Edward Cabrera's got terrific talent, but they can't score runs. And you can't live your life where you're just going to, shut everybody down. That doesn't make any sense. It's just not reality overall. By the way, speaking of Sloman's Home Shield, they are a proud sponsor of our program and our platform. You can call them at 1-800-ALARM-ME. And I know winter is finally, weighing down. And although you still are dealing with some cold weather up there, and in certain states, California has been dealing with it. Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Virginia, Georgia. Folks, if you're paying for heating oil, you know what you pay. Well, guess what? Sloman's does a great job. They've been servicing Americans now for over 100 years, taking care of them, alarm systems, oil, you name it. 1-866-OIL-DEAL. They use fixed prices. So you know what you pay a month. Ask them. All you got to do is call. Free consultation. Just ask. What are you charging? And you can find out how much money you can save. Tell them that you heard it on the Big O Show. And, of course, when it comes to alarm systems, Sean Stanley's home, my home, protected by Sloman's Home Shield, folks. 1-800-ALARM-ME, and we're going to give you a free doorbell camera right now to the first 40 Big O listeners. And listen, when you use our professional installation and our low-cost central station monitoring, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery, and you're just going to love using the Sloman's Home Shield. Whether you're home or you're away from the house, you always know who's coming up to the door, deliver a package, food, or maybe they're just selling something that you don't want to deal with. You don't have to answer the door. You can just look at your phone and see who's there. Stay in the living room watching television, let them ring the doorbell, and then they'll leave eventually. Or if somebody's dropping off something, I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. And you can even put a camera in your home, around your home, on the backyard, all over the place. I have one inside my house because I always like to keep a watch of our dogs. Even when we're away, you always want to check out on the doggies. Go to 1-800-ALARM-ME and tell them that you heard it on the Big O Show, that you want a free doorbell camera. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Big O, I think I need to get other Tua stuff. I hope Caneswear has my size. Well, they've got a bunch of stuff there at Caneswear. Go to caneswear.com, man. Go online. You can check out a lot of the stuff there. They have your size? No, so then you're good. They have big sizes. They got my size. They got Sean's. You're good, bro.
They have all the way up to damn.
Oh, there you go. So if you're in that measurement of damn, they got that too. We have a QB away from a Super Bowl until we're middle. We're a QB away from the Super Bowl until we're middle of the pack. I saw the highest rated passer in the NFL playing for the Miami Dolphins. I love those stupid comments like the one that Jarvis just sent in. You know, you're like a king-size dumbass. Like everybody that's been here since Marino can't even hold to his jock. You know, it's like some of you idiots actually think that you can come up with a quarterback, you know, like right away. And then meanwhile, this guy was, you know, the best passer in the NFL. It's the level of this is why I know I see morons that watch Fox and get lied to, idiots that think that Biden actually knows what he's doing. You know, there's a reason why we have so many stupid people in this world. There's really, and Jarvis right there is a king-size dumbass like a lot of you that say the same stupid thing. You have a quarterback that is the best quarterback you've ever had since Marino. No one you've ever had comes close to this guy. And so for 20 plus years, you see they can't find a quarterback. But then this guy kicks ass. And yes, he's had an injury history. There's no doubt about it. Plenty of other players have had injury history. And they've overcome it to go on to have a career. By the way, Alec Ingold got here with an injury. And he overcame the injury in the offseason, played the rest of the year. And last year, really, it wasn't about injuries for Tua. It was about the head trauma thing, which is kind of flukish because that's not something that's really normal. But I love how you think you're a quarterback away when that's exactly what you have. To find somebody better than Tua, you're not even going to find that. It's not even close. But hey, man, listen, people like Jarvis prove to me why, you know, there's a lot of stupid people in this world, a lot of naive people in this world. Don't get it, don't understand it. But Jarvis, you stay you, buddy. Oh, don't pull on Superman's cape. Don't spit into the wind. Don't pull the mask off the old Long Ranger. And don't mess around with Mickey Mouse and a team of world-class lawyers. Yeah, did you see what they did to DeSantis? That was awesome. That was so awesome. That was so awesome. Bob Iger is just like, he's the man. He's the man. That was, you know what we're talking about, Sean? I think most people have no idea what we're talking about. That's fine. I'm not going to elaborate on it, but yes, Dougie Fresh, that was awesome what Iger pulled off. He took the power away from that committee completely. Like they found the loophole and their lawyers and it's over. It's over. They took him completely out. Big O, could you imagine if Dan Marino played today's defenses? Yes. What is it? He has a total of 8 wins with the number 1 passer rating, 1-4 in his last 5 starts. Yeah, bro, I get it, man. You know, whatever, Jarvis. You know, then brother, why are you watching this platform? Why are you cheering on the Dolphins? Why are you watching? Season's over, bro. Leave. Get out of here, Jarvis. It's over, dude. There's nothing to talk about. I'm not here to convince your ass. So, you know, I'm here to make fun of your stupid ass. That's what I'm here to do, Jarvis. I'm here to make fun of your low IQ. That's all. Let's see. Get Laporta or trade up to 4 in Washington. No, they're not going to trade up. But Laporta is a possibility. He could be there. There's no doubt. Shouldn't Odell be on a no-fly list? I can imagine him taking a cruise to a game playing in England. He'll arrive 3 weeks later. Let's see. Big O, don't let AI replace you. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever come up with an AI like me. Huh? Oh, God. He said Lamar coming home. Here we go. Yeah, we don't need this. You can block him already. Yeah, when stupidity just gets to a point, I don't need that here on this platform. Later, Jarvis. See ya. We don't need stupidity. That's just, morons are not needed on the platform, Jarvis. So just in case, I don't know if you know that, but I have zero issues getting rid of morons. And you're a moron. So we'll get rid of you quickly. And we don't have to worry about you ever again. That's it. Clown show. All right, so Heat last night. Can you be any more pathetic? By the way, Jimmy Butler took the night off to then come back and score 12 points. What happened? The neck? Had a crank in his neck or something? Gabe Vincent was hot last night. Tyler Johnson shot a sizzling 2 of 10 from three-point range. I'm sorry. What did I say? He did shoot like Tyler Johnson. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Bam Adebayo, passive Bam, is back. 4 of 10 shooting. So now you're in this, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Duncan actually hit some shots yesterday. Yeah. He actually hit like 4 3-pointers, I want to say. It's like, wow, he hit actually a couple of 3-pointers. They're now in the 7th spot. Now they find themselves, what is it, like 5 games left? 6 games? What do they have? 77, 5 games left. And they're a game and a half behind the Nets. And they're in the 7th spot. They've lost 3 in a row. Most important time of the year. This is just, let me tell you something. What Spo did with this team last year was amazing. Because this is what they really are. How he got them to overachieve last year to get to where they got, just like he did with the scrubs, that he got them to 500 and 31 and 10, just like he did with the bubble. None of those teams are that good. That's all Spo getting those teams to overachieve. The common denominator throughout all of this, and I'll keep repeating it over and over and over and over again, Pat Riley and Mickey Arison are not doing their job. They are not building teams that are good enough to the Heat standard. Good enough maybe for the Magic standard. Good enough if you're a Washington Wizards fan to just get in the playoffs and, attend. But if you're a Heat fan, this is not Heat standard. And you've taken cheap cuts. You got to stop being cheap. And Pat Riley has got to start making better decisions here. That's what's going on. Saturday, you're facing the dynamic duds. Okay? All right? You got Doncic and Kyrie Irving. You got to beat those bums. And if you can't beat those bums, listen, I don't have much hope anymore for the Heat season. I've given up on this Heat season for a while. I watch it. I watch every game. I watch the Panthers. That was a nice finish yesterday. But they're disappointing as hell. And I'm sorry. And Spo continues to fool us. And that's the problem. He's too good of a coach. And then we get to the bubble and we think we're that good. And at that moment you were, but it really wasn't the realistic thing that you were that kind of team every year or anything like that. You just were lightning in a bottle. 2003 Marlins, lightning in a bottle. Then you grab all the scrubs, Whiteside and all that in a year that you're kind of rebuilt. And you get to 500, you almost make the playoffs because you have a 31-10 finish. Thanks to the same man that makes it look way better than what it really is, bro. Eric Spoelstra. And it's the same shit last year, dude. This team wasn't that good last year. It's just that he can coach his ass off. But you can't ask him to be a miracle worker every year for you. And if you want to keep giving him Kyle Lowry and you want to keep signing these guys that you pick up off the street and they're really not stars and you're giving them multi-year deals and you're tying yourself to a bunch of bad salaries, well, then this is why you're in this bad position. And you keep asking the chef to be a magician every single night in the kitchen. And he can only do so much, man. And I'm watching him post game, and we've accepted this challenge, and what I'm paraphrasing whatever he was saying last night. And did you watch your team last night? They didn't take on no damn challenge. Pathetic, dude. The Heat it's a sad bunch this year. And I hope that over the next couple of years, because they're not going to be very good next year either. They're going to take a couple of years here to kind of clean out these salaries. But we're going to go through a couple of rough years here. Yeah. You can bet your ass on that. Let's see. What I really find funny, says James Steele, is that there are some fans that actually think that they're smarter than Mike McDaniel. Clowns. I know. Right. Yeah. Like this last idiot we just banished. Aggressive Bam never came back from the All-Star break. We're done with this season, right? A lot of them playing like it's already done. I'm with you. Spo's the GOAT. Yeah. Yeah. You and Fishing Laws. I don't know what happened to Bam, bro. And there's no excuses. I was talking with Ira about, it takes a lot out of somebody to keep it going for the whole year. This, that. Brother, he's young. He's in his mid-20s. He's been in the league already enough time to build up the stamina. Let's go. It's not about stamina. It's about heart, determination, and dedication, and hunger, and want, and need. And if Bam wants to play his ass off, he needs to work harder at playing his ass off and be better on offense and be a factor. Passive Bam just, drives my ass crazy, to be quite honest. Big O reminds me of my neighbor's pit bull. He's nice and he's friendly, but if you piss him off, he will bite. Yeah, that's my dog Maiden. She's an angel with me and everybody in our home, obviously. But if a stranger shows up, somebody knocks on the door, yep. All of a sudden, the fangs come out, the nails, the talons, because I don't cut her nails. She's got talons. My wife goes, why don't we cut her nails? I go, no, she's a guard dog. I don't want to cut her nails because she'll leave you some scratches once in a while playing around or whatever, and you're like, damn, dude, I got to cut those nails, but you're like, no. Let her use those nails one day. I hope she never has to use them, but if she does, so yeah. I just don't have a lot of sympathy for stupidity. Really, that's what it is. And when you discount Tua, like, oh no, we can go get another quarterback, and then like, what has been going on for the last 20 years, you idiot? Chad Pennington, John Beck, Ray Lucas, Ryan Tannehill, Jay Cutler, Pat White. Like, what are you talking about, moron? It's like we've never had a quarterback that can play like this since 13. It's so stupid. It's ignorance to the highest level. If you're a Dolphins fan, you are wanting Tua to succeed. You need Tua to succeed. You want them to find more linemen. You want him to be smarter with the football. That's what a real fan and an intelligent fan wants to say about Tua. A dumb-ass, ignorant fan says, oh, no, we got to go find another quarterback. Like, yeah, no, the track record's been there for 20 years. Yeah, no, you're pumping out those quarterbacks every other year. Yeah, no, definitely. Not only do you have your starter, but you draft capable backups and you're trading them constantly. And, we're a quarterback factory here in Miami. Have you watched that interview finally with Mike Silver? Did you watch the Tua part? Go to the 25. Go to the 25-minute mark and start there. Start at the 25-minute mark so you can hear the Tua stuff. The stuff before is about him getting the job and all that other stuff. On the 25-minute mark forward, you'll start hearing the Tua stuff. Listen to that. And then any fan that says he wants another quarterback after listening to the head coach talk about his quarterback, it's like, dude, how stupid are you? Like, seriously, are you listening to that guy? He knows more offense than you and I ever will know.
But everybody's been saying it for time now, that you've been saying it since Tua's the quarterback. Right as soon as the season ended? Before the season ended.
Yeah.
You said Tua's going to be the starting quarterback next year, and still.
And same crap as always. The wheels are falling off the Heat bus. Andy, the wheels fell off already, bro. They fell off a while ago, and they fell off of Pat Riley.
The donuts are falling off now.
Yeah. The players are falling off now, but it's really Arison and Pat. Okay, and again, I will repeat over and over and over again. I can be critical of Pat Riley, and I can be critical of Mickey Arison. Doesn't mean I want them gone. Doesn't mean I want them to sell the team. Doesn't mean I want Pat Riley to retire. Those people have given us heaven in basketball. Okay, going through a little rough patches here. Okay, the Heat aren't the Magic. They're not the Wizards. They're not I know the Kings are now pretty good, but, they're not those perennial losers and all that. This is a damn great franchise, but they are going through a rough patch now. And for them, a rough patch is still making the playoffs, but you're not very good, okay? Remember, that's a difference between a rough patch with the Marlins, who show up and go nowhere, than when the Heat, a rough patch is barely making the playoffs. But those two gentlemen are the issues. Forget the players, certainly not the head coach. The two gentlemen they need to have a meeting of the minds, and they need to say, are we really committed to winning here? Are we really trying to win? Because we're kind of half-assing all of this. And we're settling for players that we shouldn't settle for. That needs to change. So Pat needs to tweak what he's doing. Stop giving in to players. And Mickey Arison, abre la cartera. Let's go, bro. Whip out the checkbook. Come on. Spend the Bitcoin. Come on, let's go. Hour number 2 will start with Andy Behrens and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins and NFL report.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years,
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. While the NFL plans for the 2023 season, the Big O Radio Show keeps you informed by tracking everything from free agency, trades, draft, and all the news you can handle. It's the SportsGrill.com Dolphins and NFL Draft Report with Yahoo Sports' Andy Behrens.
There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Big O, I'm good. I got 2 weeks of vacation coming up. Feeling good about that. Gonna get out of this cold. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
So one of the hot topics, and I don't know if you were able to see it, but Mike McDaniel had a sit down with Mike Silver, and I thought it was really, really good. And it's weird because Mike McDaniel has human qualities that normal coaches don't have. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. They're like compare Belichick to Mike McDaniel, and there's like, okay, Belichick he's AI, right? He's really not human. You
would never guess that those two were in the same profession. Yeah.
No, but seriously, we could do an AI Belichick and nobody would know the difference with the way he answers things.
Yep.
Right? He could be a complete robot and nobody would know. But McDaniel is a human being. But I don't. Did you get to see that conversation, by the way?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
absolutely phenomenal. So I know Mike Silver a little bit and have worked with him in the past, and he's obviously a gifted interviewer. He in the clip that you're discussing, he does such a good job of just like staying out of the way and letting Mike McDaniel roll, because McDaniel is so. I mean, you said it, like it is just so common, and you hear it with high school coaches, college coaches at every level. They tend to, because it's efficient, they tend to speak in sort of trite aphorisms and cliches, and they lean hard into things that have been said before, and they all have slogans. And you can listen to him talk for a half an hour and he's got none of it. He's just got none of it. It's all super thoughtful, and he is very much his own man. Like whatever, he's got that like Mitch Hedberg delivery too. Like you don't even think that you're listening to a coach as you're listening to him. But he's got a wisdom and a clarity to him. It's just phenomenal. And the part that you specifically had recommended to me was the discussion of Tua. And that's another thing. There's so many things that are buried in the discussion of Tua. But just the idea of a coach using like tape study and time together to build up a player and to highlight to a player all of the things that they do well and their strengths. And obviously even down to the level of detail that he was, his description of Tua more as a point guard and a distributor than necessarily, he's obviously, I think we all know he's not like the Josh Allen, Cam Newton type of quarterback. He's not a whole lot of different types of quarterbacks, but like McDaniel found specific throws that Tua makes with regularity, that are like high level, super advanced throws, and cut together a reel full of them and showed them to the staff and showed them to Tua. And it was just, I don't know, that stuff is fun to hear about, because and they'd alluded to this in the interview. Tua had a lifetime film sessions just being full of like criticism,
Berated.
constructive, but
Yeah.
and that's what it is. That's what a lot of coaching is, right? It's like,
Right.
hey, here's some things that you did wrong, and let's talk about them. And McDaniel talks a little bit about how Tua was ill prepared to just sit down and watch like 150 clips of him doing things right.
Right, yeah.
Because you don't really have that in.
He was being set up. Like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? When's the shoe gonna fall here? This is too nice. I'm not used to this. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
There's also a point in the interview where McDaniel makes reference to, and it's not. I don't think that Mike McDaniel is going out of his way to insult anybody, but he makes reference to this idea that like, what if Tua were making these throws, but to receivers who could actually get open? He comes really close to saying that, and I'm like, oh man, poor that tough scene for Devontae Parker and Isaiah Ford.
Oh, that's how it was.
Whoever else he was talking about.
It was for a couple of years. He had no separation. He was throwing. His stats actually. He was the best in the NFL in tightest windows during that time, which shows you again why he's a great passer. Which is the part that people miss. But here's the part of that conversation that I trip out on the most for all the so-called insiders, right? If you listen to McDaniel talk, he was convinced with Tua from the get-go. He loved Tua. He wanted Tua. He went all the way out. And yet you have all these idiots reporting that they're trying to trade him, that they're looking with this guy and that guy. And yes, I get it. Bruce Beal, who this weekend – did you see this weekend what happened with Bruce Beal, the former Dolphin owner?
Oh, no.
Well, there was a picture of him hanging out with his kids and Brady and his kids hanging out on his boat. So it wasn't Chris Greer that wanted Brady. It was Bruce Beal convincing Stephen Ross, hey, let's go. He's my buddy. We can go get him. And it didn't happen. It wasn't the front office. It wasn't Mike McDaniel. They hired a guy named Brian Flores. Well, I broke the story a long time ago that Brian Flores never wanted Tua, and he wanted Jordan Love. Okay? So he never was on the Tua bandwagon from the get-go. So then that's what Tua had to fight for 2 years, right? And so now you look at everything going on, and you see McDaniel's response to everything, and then everybody reporting all this kind of crap. And it just shows you that all those reports were wrong. Not about Bruce Beal and Stephen Ross, not about Brian Flores wanting Watson, but anybody that thought that Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel ever veered from Tua. I mean, Chris Greer just had to take orders from the owner. If your owner comes to you and says, I know you got Tua, but I want to get Tom Brady, what are you going to say? No, sir, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You'll get fired right there on that spot. Okay, sir, no problem. If that's what you want to do, I mean, what's Chris Greer going to do at that moment? You can't argue with your boss. You're going to lose that war every time. So to me, that's the funniest part of it all, that if you listen to McDaniel, while McDaniel's been here from day one, you can tell he has been committed to Uno from the get-go. And then after watching that interview, nobody, including Josina Anderson, should be reporting that they're trying to move away from Tua.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You can't possibly listen to that and feel for a moment that the coach isn't anything less than 100% committed to Tua, probably for the rest of his tenure as the Dolphins coach. The other thing that it displays, I think, is just the value of looking at players, looking at anything with fresh eyes, with your own eyes, right? Instead of just sort of borrowing the shorthand from the rest of the herd and from what everybody else is saying. And then also it speaks to being able to, and this is hard to do. This is hard for anybody to do, and almost in any walk of life, to try to highlight the positives in any person or any situation, because that is clearly what McDaniel is doing when he's watching tape, right? Like he is zeroing in on the things that are going well, that Tua does exceptionally well, instead of trying to create a checklist of things that, things that he wishes he had in a quarterback, or things that he's not doing well. I mean, they're to his strengths are undeniable strengths, and have, displayed themselves on the field again and again, particularly last year when he was healthy. And they, it was just refreshing to listen to him discuss the idea of not just building up a player, but, assembling a roster. And this, you and I have talked about this at various times with regard to different players around the league. Like, the NFL is just never as simple as like dropping a guy into a situation and let's go. There are very few players like that, if any. It takes years. It certainly takes months to build up a roster around a skill set, around a particular type of player. And it's, I don't know, just be refreshing as a Dolphins fan to hear that they have a sort of multi-year commitment to coach and player and system, and they're going to build the whole damn thing around what Tua does really well. And he does specifically do some things really well. The other thing I'll say about that interview that is not related to Tua is listening to Coach McDaniel talk about, how for however many years, he was so focused on the idea of ascending in a very linear way up the coaching ranks, and I got to be a head coach, and how, opportunity really found him when he finally just sort of let go of that and said, man, if I just do my job well, if I just live in these moments and I do my job well each day, the opportunities are going to be there. I just thought that was a really, I'm putting it in a very cliched way. He never says anything that way, but it was that was a phenomenal conversation as well.
Yeah, it was an excellent conversation, and how he treats Tua and every player, by the way, because he does it that way. It's the way his mom treated him, and I don't know, how he talked about his mom would be about positive reinforcement, that you can do anything, that you can be this, you can, and so that's what he learned from his mom, and he felt that that's how he should be. It's not a Tua thing; that's how he is with everybody. He's not there to just slam you for every negative thing, because that's usually what most coaches are. Very few compliments, and it's usually all about what you did wrong. And then when they don't tell you anything, it's like, oh, okay, I must be doing everything right, which is kind of demoralizing that
right.
They don't give you positive reinforcement like anybody should. Your boss, your teacher, your parent, or your coach.
It's not restricted to his own players either. I will. One of my favorite moments from last season, as just an NFL fan, was in the Bears game when Justin Fields obviously running wild against the Dolphins, and Mike McDaniel drops that "stop it" on him, like after a big first down. That's just refreshing, and it's not something that you see from a lot of NFL coaches, that he maintains that perspective and that sense of humor. And then he's fundamentally always the same guy. He's the same guy when he's coaching as when he's being interviewed, as when he's, it's great. It's absolutely great. He's my favorite NFL head coach right now, without much
I think he's a lot of people's favorite head coach outside of the Dolphin Nation. I'm saying, out of the other 31 teams, maybe Patriots, Jets, and Bills fans won't say it, but the other fan bases, you'll hear people say that they like him. Well, let me tell you something, dude. The blue light special is out, and I gotta. No, you're laughing, but I don't know. Your Bears are probably lining up right now as we speak. Odell Beckham has lowered his asking price from $20 million to $15 million.
Yeah, it's the
Bears are going to sign him, right? 50. That's a bargain, bro. Come on.
I feel like often he's injured. A really fun player, and the NFL is pretty fun when Odell Beckham is doing good things. Like double ACL injuries are the track record there is not great, right? So I'm sure that he's not getting. I'm sure he's not getting the kind of offers that he wants to get. He's almost certainly going to have to take some sort of short-term prove it offer. I hope it goes well for him. I can't imagine any team looking at him thinking, oh, this is a transformative player for us at this point. I mean, it'd be great if he could get back to being something like even the Odell Beckham that we saw, in the Super Bowl would be phenomenal. It's a long road back from your second version of this injury. So Yeah, I can't imagine anybody's really gonna like. I don't know. I keep seeing all this Jets stuff, and like the Jets have a star in Garrett Wilson, so
Yeah.
Beckham there would be a little bit of a sideshow. Like there's not quite much question in my mind that the version of Odell Beckham that we see in 2023 is not going to be half as good as Garrett Wilson, who is just, and that's entirely about Wilson. Wilson.
And by the way, Breece Hall is a freaking beast. Okay.
Yeah.
So they got two guys that are really nasty on that offense that are really, really talented players. So yeah, you don't need the last thing you want to do if you're the Jets is put that guy in that mix with the rest of those young guys there. That those are the guys that should be getting the ball and all that. This guy is just going to get in your way, really, to be quite honest with
I
you.
agree.
Unless this is some stupid Aaron Rodgers thing that, he just wants to bring in a veteran receiver because he's gone through the ringer.
It kind of sort of reeks of Aaron Rodgers. This is probably an Aaron Rodgers thing, would be my guess. Yes.
Yeah, because the way that they've been building their team, it's not by adding older players. They've actually been building through the draft. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see them. It has to be an Aaron Rodgers type thing. But that guy, he's going to have to. I think he'll sign like a $3, $4, $5 million deal and then loaded with incentives. I don't think anybody's going to pay him. I don't even think anybody's going to pay him $8 or $10 million a year, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm sure that those are the offers that he's fielding right now are incentive laden, super short term. Maybe the team has an option on a second year or something like that. But there's no way that somebody's laying out 3 years for Odell Beckham right now.
No, I'm with you there. That's it's absolutely crazy if they think that that's going to end up happening. How do you think this Lamar Jackson thing ends up, bro?
It's wild. I've been pretty firmly a believer that he would stick with the Ravens. I can't believe I don't know. I can't believe some of the reporting about it. You and I have talked this situation at length. It again, I will say that it is revealing, in case this wasn't already known, the actual value and the actual job of having an agent. It would be super helpful to him. That seems pretty clear to me. I can't believe that it's gotten to this point where a team that's sort of built its entire offense around the unique. We were just talking about it with Tua, about building an offense around the unique talents of a singular player. They've done it. And the idea that he wants to, like, I respect the idea that he wants as much guaranteed money as he possibly can. I think it's a little bit of a sham that NFL Players Association over many years has put themselves in a situation where they get so little guaranteed money. So I appreciate what he's after. It's just kind of nuts that we're at this point. I also, and I don't like to just have like the knee-jerk reaction where you're like, oh, it's collusion. That's the reason why every team in the league isn't interested. But I cannot for the life of me tell you why like Atlanta isn't making an extraordinary offer to Lamar Jackson. They don't have a quarterback. Like, I don't know. I didn't see a lot of.
Again, I've had to mention this a couple of times in different interviews, and I think this is one thing that you might be overlooking a little bit here. Not every coach and not every offensive coordinator wants to run that offense.
Oh, I know.
And maybe
I get it.
Maybe Atlanta.
It's just that Arthur Smith is already so close to running it. Like, you just look at their tendencies. They're already a team that wants to run the ball twice as often as they pass the ball. They're not even trying to have a dynamic passing offense. And maybe that's about the limitations of the quarterbacks they had last year. But you're literally. You would be talking about plugging him into an offense that was already being run by Marcus Mariota. And I can firmly tell you that Lamar Jackson is better at all the Mariota stuff than Mariota is.
Of course. But remember, they had Matt Ryan there for 20 years. So they had a pure passer. And that's the question. Maybe they just went through the Mariota mess and all that other crap they went last year, but that's not where they really want to go. That was stopgap. In that first year of the transition.
I buy that with so many teams. Like when, we're talking about it with the Colts, and like the Colts are just obviously, I mean, Lamar's great, but you're talking about a major philosophical shift if you're going from what they were trying to do last year to having Lamar Jackson at the controls. Most teams, it's the same way. But my God, like Atlanta is a team that is very clearly without a quarterback. And I get that they have to continue saying nice things about Desmond Ridder, who is surely not going to be their quarterback in 5 years. I don't know. He's fine. He's totally fine. But Lamar Jackson is a very different plane than Desmond Ridder. I can't believe that they are not interested. But they were among the first teams to like withdraw themselves from any of the Lamar Jackson stuff, which is just, it remains shocking to me.
Well, maybe they're going to go in the draft.
Yeah. To me, there's like two guys that are pretty close to sure things, and I'm not even sure that Young is a sure thing because he's so little. But I feel good about Stroud. I feel good about Young, and there are probably some surprises in there. But those are the
What about if they want to go Richardson at 8?
Yeah, well, go get Lamar if you want to go Richardson at 8.
Yeah, but Lamar, you have to trade picks and give him a whole bunch of money guaranteed. Anthony Richardson,
I mean, Richardson is
and he's going to sign a rookie contract, and you're going to control him for 5 years, and then you get to develop. And you're not ready to compete right now anyway. If you're the Atlanta Falcons, so you're not to bring Lamar Jackson over. Yeah. It's not like you're really a contender anyway when you bring him over. So you're more of a rebuilding team. You're more Anthony Richardson at number 8 than you are Lamar Jackson.
I do hope Richardson is a really exciting player, and I root for the I root for the Josh Allen stories, but like I don't know, some of the stuff that you like, who gives a shit that a quarterback has a 40-inch vertical leap? Like, how often is your quarterback asked to jump 40 inches in the air? Like, it is just like a lot of the stuff that is wowing people is just simply not important. Like, it's awesome that he can throw the ball 85 yards in the air or whatever, but there are no slow developing 85-yard routes in the NFL. Like, it's just not a thing. It's cool that he can do it.
Yeah. But I think he's a dangerous player to take. Very dangerous.
He requires extraordinary coaching. I mean, he was, the simple fact of the matter is he was like a 54% completion rate guy in college. There's a lot of work to do here.
Extraordinary coaching still ain't going to help you, maybe. You know what I mean? It's up to him. We don't even know if he has the accuracy when it's all said and done. I would not take him that early.
So I think
but he's so talented. You and I know somebody's going to be drunk off his talent and say, I can make him a quarterback. I can make him a great player.
The clock is really ticking, like, because you've got to maximize the rookie contract with these guys. And it's going to take a year. It's going to take a year and a half I would imagine, to get Richardson to a point that you're comfortable, like, saying to him, okay, go win us a football game. Like, he's just, in my view, a little bit further further away than like Stroud and Young from being able to be dropped into a team and like, okay, we go get us to 31 points today. Like, I can't imagine the current version of Anthony Richardson getting there in the NFL. I can see it with Stroud. I can absolutely see it. I mean, you just watch the Georgia game. Like, that guy's going to be a good quarterback in my mind, year one. And
guy I like out of this group is Stroud. He's the guy.
So he's the eye test guy. He's the guy who checks all the boxes in terms of, like, combine measurables and all that. And his best games are literally against the best opponents that were available in college football, right? Like, that Georgia game is sort of a master class.
Amazing. All right, what do you got going on Yahoo, folks? So folks can check you out, my friend.
Well, hell, it's opening day. We got a lot of baseball content out there. Also, the Yahoo Fantasy Football Forecast is still rolling a couple times a week, so please check that out.
All right, there you go. And follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens. Andy, we will catch up next week, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Big O. Appreciate you.
You got it. There you go. Andy Behrens. Appreciate him as always. We're going to get Alan Poupart on in a couple minutes here. Let's take a quick break. You got something? What do you got?
The Marlins opened up, leadoff single.
Ooh.
Next pitch, double play.
Ah, there we go. Who got the single? The Minnesota kid? Okay. All right. At least we got a hit. Can't complain there. We got at least one hit. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it was Reyes getting the hit. Yeah, he's going to get on base. That kid's going to get on base. So that was a nice trade, bro. That was a really nice trade with Minnesota. I like it. The only problem is you're going to need to drive them in. So getting on base don't mean shit if you don't have the people to drive them in. Unfortunately, man. That's the part that sucks. By the way, they're giving away a Mercedes-Benz here at Hialeah Park, man. All right? So they're giving away on April 1st, April Fool's Day. That's Saturday. Saturday night. So you got to be here Saturday night at 1 o'clock in the morning. So come on out here Saturday. You got to be here live to win the Mercedes. Saturday into Sunday. I'm going to be here, okay? I'm going to come out here with the wife, and we're going to see if we win the Mercedes because we've already played a couple times. So I'll be out here. So if you do come out here Saturday, say hi to me, all right? So give us send me a DM or something or whatever, but we'll be out here. And who knows, man? You might win a Mercedes-Benz. Plus, they've got second floor poker room here, loaded TVs, the ladies, lovely ladies serving you drinks and food, all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna have a chicken sandwich today before I get out of here. I love the chicken sandwich here. And then we've got, of course, downstairs, man, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of slot machines and the loosest slots in all of Florida. All right, highest payouts right here at Hialeah Park, smoke-free casino. And we also have the smoking hot slots, which outside it's under roof and it's got a whole bunch of ventilation and all that. So if you want to bring your cigar, your cigarette, your what's it called, vape pen, enjoy yourselves while you're playing the smoking hot slots outside. So check it out here at Hialeah Park. And don't forget, Dade County Youth Fair, a proud sponsor of our program. We were there yesterday. We'll be there again next Wednesday, 4 to 7 p.m. Go try the pickle lemonade, the bacon pineapple burger, the Mexican street corn pizza, the chorizo jalapeno pizza, the Wizard deep fried milkshake. We had the banana pudding yesterday. Damn, that's the best banana pudding I have. Well, I couldn't eat it because of damn pork. But that's the best banana pudding I have ever had in my life. Now, I am the guy that's only had banana puddings that are from what's those things that we tear up in the little plastic cups, and they're banana pudding and chocolate and vanilla. Swiss Miss, right? It's Swiss Miss. No. Yes, it's Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss is cocoa, isn't it?
But they have other flavors.
Oh, do they?
I think they do. And then there's another brand too besides Swiss Miss. Because maybe
Swiss
was only chocolate
and all those, like the yogurt company.
There was somebody else, but anyways, those are the only ones I've ever had. Yeah. But this was like real bananas, and like you could see and taste.
It's grandma's
recipe, whatever it is.
Grandma's recipe of banana pudding.
Whatever grandma's recipe is, it's badass, dude. You got to go.
You know how long it's been since I had Nilla wafers too? By the way.
Oh yeah, it comes with a Nilla wafer. Oh, no, I love the Nilla wafer. Love it, love it. They've got the salted caramel fudge. You can build your own sandwich. The Cubano churro they've got out there, folks. They've got the circus, the X-Pogo stunt show. They've got the dueling pianos, all kinds. Man, they've got all kinds of shows, performances, prizes, all kinds of stuff at the Dade County Youth Fair. It runs through April 9th. So get on out there and check it out, Dade County Youth Fair. Is Poupart there yet? He's there? All right, let's go. Let's unleash the man. Let's get to our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
Dolphins fans, time to get insight on your favorite team with your favorite reporter with an Expos hat. Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on a Big O radio show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Hold on. We got to get that youth fair billboard out of his face.
There we go.
There we go.
Might be an improvement, though, actually. Who knows?
By the way, I got to ask you.
Ask me.
Bro, I've been watching videos, YouTube videos of people that go there. I've been trying to read up on some stuff. Your former hometown doesn't really have a lot of shit to look at, bro. Like, there isn't, like, a lot of historical stuff to go see and all that kind of stuff. Now, Montreal does kick ass, apparently, with restaurants and bars. Like, apparently you guys kick some serious freaking ass with food, like restaurants all over the place. But there really isn't a ton to see. I was looking at in Montreal. Is that true? Am I missing out on something?
Other than like a full sector that's like 1300 or 1400s architecture?
Like what? What are we talking about?
Is it old Montreal?
Oh, you talk about just like the architecture of Montreal is what you're saying. Okay.
That particular section of Montreal, old Montreal.
Okay. Some people say I should go to Quebec. Go hang out for a little bit. Huh?
Quebec's, well, that's a 2.5-hour drive from Montreal.
Which is the one? It's not Quebec that's right next door. Which is the one that's close by? Is it Quebec? Is that?
It's 2.5 hours. 2.5-hour drive.
Yeah, it's not that close, but okay.
No, there is no other main city.
No, next to it.
That's
So
like really
okay.
close by. I mean, there are other sites. There's a big attraction park on an island called La Ronde. You can go Mount Royal, after which Montreal is named, middle of the city.
Okay.
No, there. I don't know that it's loaded with quote unquote tourist attractions, but there. And again, when you're going in the summer, there's one festival after another.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. That I will say. You're right. The architecture and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, how many like things to do? And it was, there aren't a ton of attractions.
I don't know what you're going in August, correct?
Yes, sir. Early August.
You should be still in festival season, dude.
Okay.
Get pamphlets when you get there. I mean, like jazz festival, beer festival, comedy festival.
Oh, now we're talking.
Festival. I mean, you name it. There are tons of them in the summer because you can't go anywhere in the winter because it's
right. Of course. Okay. All right. I gotta the food. I mean, wow.
Yeah,
man, you guys kick some ass. I told Grieper, I go, bro, we're just gonna go gain a bunch of weight because they got restaurants galore there, bro. And apparently bars are also very popular there too in Montreal.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. All right. Did you finally get to see the conversation between Mike McDaniel and Mike Silver?
I did on and off. Maybe it's because I've listened to Mike McDaniel talk, and there's a lot of the things that he was saying early on. It wasn't necessarily grabbing me that much, but I caught the gist of it.
Did you catch the whole Tua stuff?
I caught some of it, and I don't know that there was anything that really jumped out at me as being stuff that he hadn't mentioned before.
You mean when did he tell you that Tua was the best quarterback he's ever had?
For his offense, he had said that before. For his offense, he had said that before.
Really?
The point guard analogy was out there before. The 700, watching 700 plays was out there before.
Well, no, it wasn't the 700 thing. It was more about what he talked about, how he made the tape to then tell everybody first how he was thinking. And then he went and made the tape for Tua on top of all of that. But he made the shorter tape first for those guys. So it was a little different story that he was talking about. You know, he gave a little bit more with Mike Silver. And the other thing I think that came from that conversation, you probably won't admit it, but it clearly comes from the second that McDaniel's been here, Tua was never going anywhere. Ever. Not even close. No thought, no talk, no nothing. The second he got here?
And I'll resent your you want a minute. Why wouldn't I admit it? It was clear.
Okay,
and also,
just want to make sure.
Part of the mandate. Well, dude, give me some benefit of the doubt. I am fair, even though we don't always agree, and I don't always like go like this. Yeah. I am fair, and it was always very clear. And part of the mandate in hiring Mike McDaniel is that Mike McDaniel presented the Dolphins with a vision of this is how I'm going to make it work with Tua. And for the offense he ran, especially once they got Tyreek Hill, Tua's ideal for that offense. And then I never disputed that for a millisecond.
Well, by the way, whatever he said in the initial meeting, he still didn't know what he knew until he made that tape that he got there and he started making a tape, and then he said he started to realize that Tua makes throws that a lot of quarterbacks are afraid to make. And he started, explaining that to Mike Silver, that it's like, okay, we have a gold mine here, that kind of stuff. So I think that's the other thing, that he could tell him about what offense he was going to run and all that, but he really didn't convince himself until he got to the building and started to make that tape.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, that's what he said, right? That's what he said in that interview, right?
Like I said, I watch a lot of it, and some of it I was in and out, to be very honest with you, because a lot of stuff was kind of very slow developing. It's an hour interview.
You don't have attention span or something? What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. What'd you say? Who are you?
You don't have an attention span or something?
I'm being funny. That's why I just said. What'd you say?
I know.
Come on, play along with me here.
I know. Well, I kind of did by acting dumb and saying it again. That was kind of the idea. Anyway, so you start to look at this situation now. Off of that conversation, one of the things he did say, and again, you didn't hear the whole thing, but maybe you heard this part, but when he first met with them, right, with the front office and all that, the guys were like, we need to build up the offensive line. And he was like, no, we need to go get weapons. But he didn't want to tell them, no, you guys, we need to do this, because it's, I don't want to tell you you're wrong, I'm right, that kind of stuff. So that's where he went to make the tape, to explain to them what he wanted in his vision. And then they went and got the weapons. And last year, like he said, the front office guys were telling him, we got to go get offensive linemen and build, which they did also. But I just get the feeling that that's still a thing here. They don't need more weapons outside of maybe a tight end. And I think that third round pick is going to be that tight end now. I'm almost convinced that 51 is really a lineman. What do you think?
Interchangeable, can be flipped. I strongly believe that those two first picks will be tight end, offensive lineman, or offensive lineman, tight end.
I just have when I look at the draft, I don't, and you're good with this too. I don't know if the tackle you get in the third round is the same as the guy you could get at 51. The guard might be the same, but the tight end actually might be the same playmaker from second or third round. But the tackle may not. There might be a drop there. And at 51, from what I'm looking at, you're going to have some names there. You're going to have a couple guys.
Yeah, here's my thing, though, and I'm not convinced with the tight end not having a major drop-off from second round to third round. And I also think, and as I wrote on All Dolphins, according to Irv Smith Jr., before he signed with the Bengals or agreed to turn with the Bengals, he was talking to the Dolphins. He said he basically chose the Bengals over the Dolphins, which tells you they want a pass catcher, because Irv Smith is not a people mover. And if you look at what's left in free agency in the NFL at tight end, that's not where they're getting a tight end who can do damage in the passing game. So I think, and
Irv Smith's a decent player, but anyway, nothing special.
He joins the Dolphins, he's immediately their best receiving tight end. That's okay. Well, and it's a low bar. It's a low bar, I understand. But to me, I think they can get that kind of pass catching tight end in the second round, and then still thinking they can get a veteran offensive lineman. Remember, there's still a lot of veteran offensive linemen on the market if they want to attack and get the right tackle there. They're the same guys we talked about earlier this week, still out there. There's been very little free agent movement this week. So you still have Brandon Shell still out there, George Fant still out there, Billy Turner still out there, and that's without even me looking at the list. But I did check the list of tight ends, and there is nothing. The biggest names are Cameron Brate, Mercedes Lewis, Kyle Rudolph, and all of those guys are on the very, very easy downswing of their career. So that's why I'm thinking more second round is going to be a tight end, and your offensive tackle is going to come either in free agency or in the third round if you haven't gotten them.
Let's see if it ends up happening. Will Odell Beckham sign here since he lowered his price to $15 million per year now?
That's funny. No, but if he goes to 13, maybe. No. Yeah, no. No. Not happening. There's scuttlebutt he could wind up with the Jets.
Who's going to sign him for 15?
Not for 50. Nobody's signing him for 50.
Like, how high are you, bro? Who do you think you are, bro? Come on. First you started with 20, now you're down to 15. You're injury prone. You're unreliable. You're a head case at times. You propose to kicking nets. You fight with kicking nets. You wear pants on boats in South Beach. I mean, you do a lot of weird stuff. You want $15 million a year? Come on.
You got a bipolar relationship with the kicking nets. No, but he could wind up, at a higher level, but could wind up doing something like Gesicki's doing in New England, which is
incentive.
Much exactly incentive based. Once he realizes that nobody's giving him $15 million, and it'll keep going down. And at some point, he may okay, give me this, but then jack up my money if I reach certain incentives.
I'm with you there. All right. What do you know anything about the Brandon Shell situation? Because I find it like he hasn't signed anywhere, and he played well for you. Have you heard anything on that front?
No, and I did some digging, and I'm not coming up with anything other than there was a word he was meeting with the Bills. No, and it's weird to me, and I get it. I understand that there's the first big wave. There's usually a lull, but I don't recall a year when it slowed to such a crawl in the second week of or the third week of free agency. But the lull is actually kind of not unusual, and it's going to pick up at some point. Certainly after the draft, if it drags on that long, certainly after the draft, guys like him and Turner and Fan and all those guys, then they'll get picked up once teams see what they were able to fill through the draft and what needs they have left. But I'm actually kind of surprised. And it could be that he's holding out not only for money, but also for a situation where he feels he has a legitimate chance to start. And I don't know what the Dolphins have communicated with him. I would like to think that at the very least they tell him, certainly if they told Dan Feeney you're going to get a chance to compete, they should tell Brandon Shell you're going to get a chance to compete also.
The owners want to do something incredibly stupid and insensitive, and really it goes against everything. When you tell me you care about player safety, adding a flex to a Thursday night game. What can the NFLPA do about this? Because to me, I've said for years, you need 2 bye weeks, bro. You have to have 2 bye weeks. You have to have one for every Thursday night game. For every Thursday opponents, they all should be off the week before. And then that way they get 10 days after that. It doesn't seem like you're adding a second bye week to kind of, accommodate all those kind of things. Plus, if you're flexing, it's going to be really hard to do that. And all of a sudden, you're going to be surprising teams. You could be knocking out good teams from the playoffs, because if you're using good teams late, they might suffer key injuries, and you're screwing fans over who may have plane tickets and hotels and stuff like that then they have to now cancel and reserve again. And, short notice airplane flights, as you know, very, very expensive. So talk to me about this, because it's a mess and it makes no sense whatsoever.
No, and you kind of covered everything there was, but you and I are both old enough to remember that there was one year in the NFL when there were 2 bye weeks. It was 1993, I want to say. I don't recall the NFL going completely out of whack. It was a one-shot deal. They never did it again. I'm not sure why. I don't see any major issue. I think players would welcome a second bye week, especially if, as you suggest, they make it so that if you play a Thursday night game, you have a week by the week before. And one big issue that you mentioned with the flex late in the season, along with screwing over the fans, those who make plans to fly out of town, and there are a lot of those, is imagine you're the team, and because like you mentioned, it's usually they're going to flex teams that are in a playoff race. You're in a playoff race and you were scheduled for a Sunday. Go ahead now. You're going to go play on the road on the Thursday night against another quality opponent. Those games are tough to win. Usually, if you have 2 good teams, the home team's going to win. Usually.
Yeah.
So now you're giving a major advantage to the home team in that game, and you make major disadvantage to the road team. And no, it kind of completely sucks. If I'm being purely selfish from a fan standpoint, from a viewership standpoint, yeah, it'd be cool to be able to get away from crappy Thursday night games late in the season, like last year was it the Jets and Jacksonville, I think it was. Oh,
Yeah, no, they were
That
brutal.
was some brutal. But
Yeah.
I think the sacrifice of having those kinds of games outweighs all the all the shit that would come with it. I'm with you on that. I think it's a terrible.
What can the NFLPA do about this? Can they stop it? Can they say no? We're not going to allow this. We're not going to allow our players to play in this. Or can they do something about this?
Good question.
That's the part I don't know.
No, I don't know either. And the truth is, I have on my laptop somewhere the whole collective bargaining agreement, and I don't know if there's anything in there that the NFL would have to get their approval to institute that other flex. I honestly don't know. I'd have to think that the NFLPA would be kicking and screaming about this, though.
Yeah. You don't put anybody at an advantage there. The only ones that win are the owners because the checks are going to clear. And by the way, if you add another week with the bye week, that's another week that you generate revenue.
It's more money. It's more inventory. I don't understand.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. All right, what do you got going on in alldolphins.com, my friend?
Well, today we talked about the draft. I did a story looking at all the national mock drafts that have come out that extend beyond the first round, because sadly the Dolphins again don't have a first round pick, and who they're targeting, and the most popular choices for the second and third round are tight ends and offensive linemen, as we discussed. And Omar just wrote a column addressing the Get Up segment this morning where they were doing their way too early predictions on the AFC East.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Follow him on Twitter at Poopart NFL and catch him twice a week here doing his thing with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. And don't forget to bookmark alldolphins.com. That officially makes you a real Dolphins fan when you bookmark alldolphins.com. Poopart, have a great weekend, my friend. We will catch up next week.
See you in April.
Thank you, sir. You got it. See you in April. Good stuff there. That's our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins reporting. Please call Eric at EJD Construction, Dade or Broward counties only, because I've gotten some of our folks, I've gotten them and a little pissed off at me because they called Eric and we don't service Palm Beach, and that's my fault. It's only Dade and Broward County. A lot of our listeners have been calling because they've been wanting to upgrade their roofs because they got to renew their policies, their hurricane policies, and they're finding out that, hey, if your house is over 20 years old, you need to upgrade your roof, folks. Call them, 305-433-4843. Got all kinds of listeners doing all kinds of different things, like building an extra room. Another one that built an observation deck. I told you about that a while back. All kinds of different projects. One of our listeners having their entire home remediated because of a fire. And the other thing that EJD Construction does that a lot of you may not, most contractors probably don't do this. Every day you have an app that you're going to, once you become a customer, you have an app that goes with it. And every day they take pictures on the progress being made in your property. So whether you're there or you're not, you're always going to be getting them every day, and you can see the progress being made every day. It's really a cool concept, and EJD Construction does it. Go to their Instagram page. Go check out a lot of the work that they've done. But if you live in Dade and Broward County and you're looking for custom home construction or major home remodeling, you want to modernize the kitchen, you want to build out a what's it called? A guy's what's it called? Right. A man cave. Exactly. You want to build out a man cave. You want TVs coming out of the roof or the walls or whatever. EJD Construction, 305-433-4843.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is your custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
All right. Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you smash the like button and get the algorithms going, man. Appreciate it. Bitcoin hit 29,000 last night. That was nice. That was nice. Went back down now. It's in the 28,000, low 28,000, like 28,200 right now. But that's kind of the way it goes. But it broke through that ceiling. Now, it did that a couple times when it broke 25, and then it came back down, and then finally it exploded out. I think we're going to get some here in either by tonight or tomorrow, and we're going to be hitting 30. I think it's going to happen very, very soon. Panthers, great win last night against the Maple Leafs in overtime, 3-2, as Ekblad fires off a shot that Reinhart is able to redirect for the game-winning goal. He also had an assist in the game. Alex Lyon had 38 saves. You know, the other day, Lyon sucked. And last night, Lyon was pretty freaking awesome. Lundell and Montour had goals yesterday. Montour also had an assist. They've got the 9th spot right now with 81 points. Pittsburgh is in the 8th spot with 82 points. And tonight, they're back in action at the Bell Center to take on the Canadiens. So we shall see what happens, but nice little win yesterday for the Panthers. That was fun to watch. It was a lot better watching that than watching the Heat. The Heat game just pissed me off last night. That's all it did. It just absolutely pissed me off. By the way, for just rock concert purposes, you pull that thing up. This new concert was just announced in California. Okay, it's called the Power Trip Festival. It's October 6th through the 8th. Tickets are expensive. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to go, but it is loaded, bro. AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Ozzy, Tool. Holy moly, dude. General admission for 3 days is $600 plus the fees. General admission with the shuttle is $700 plus the fees. 3-day reserved floor seats. The Section 5 is $799 plus fees. Section 4, $999 plus fees. Section 3, $1,099 plus fees. Section 2, $1,400 plus fees. Section 1, $1,600 plus fees. 3-day reserve grandstand seats for P3 section, $1,100 plus fees. For the P2 section, $1,400 plus fees. If you want 3 days in the pit, it's only $1,600 plus fees. Holy shit. $1,600 plus fees. The fee is probably going to be like another $200, dude. Because it's so ridiculous. It is in Indio, California. That's where they hold Lollapalooza, I believe. That's where they have Lollapalooza. Or is it Coachella? Coachella. Yeah, Coachella is where they do Indio. And yeah, I mean, listen, I've seen all those bands. So to me, be awesome to go enjoy. And they're going to have more bands too. It's not just going to be those bands. Those are the headliners. They're going to add more bands to the whole thing. Wow, that's a lot of money, dude. That is a lot of money. Holy moly. I saw that and I was like, okay, not bad. Pretty good show. And if you've never seen any of those acts or a few of them, I guess it's a good way to kind of catch up and get to go do that. Give you a little more music news and talk a little bit about what happened today in music history. And we had a couple of interesting things happening on March 30th, on the history of March 30th. We start off in 1992 on this date. In Bearsville Studios in Woodstock, New York, REM began recording sessions for their Automatic for the People album. What a great album that is. In 74 on this date, the Ramones played their first ever show. It took place at New York's Performance Studio. In 85 on this date, Phil Collins started a 2-week run at the top of the singles charts with One More Night, his second number one song in America. In 2004 on this date, Marilyn Manson fired his guitarist, John Five. When asked why he was axed, the rocker said, maybe it's something had to do with the fact that I don't drink or do drugs. John Five, by the way, is now the guitarist for Motley Crue. Okay? So while Mick Mars retires, John Five has been the guitar. He's a good guitarist, by the way. Really good. In 75, Jeff Beck released his first solo album, Blow by Blow. In 67 on this date, the cover for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, as photographed at a London studio, cardboard cutout and wax figures were used to represent the Beatles. Heroes like Edgar Allan Poe, Lenny Bruce, Bob Dylan, and others. In 2003, Limp Bizkit, it's all about the he said, she said, unveiled their new guitarist, Mike Smith, who replaced Wes Borland. Borland left the band in 2001 due to creative differences, but returned in 2004. And in 84 on this date, Greg Lake left Asia, was replaced by the band's original bassist and singer, John Wetton. That, my friends, is what happened today in Musica history. All right? There you go. Oh, loaded. So you know the Marlins are cheap, right? But you know that the Angels are also cheap. You know, the team that has two of the greatest generational players in the history of the game. And they have really, Artie Moreno does not deserve to be an owner in baseball. Artie Moreno is such a joke. Really. But you know what Artie Moreno's now doing also, what he's been doing for a couple of years now. Okay, the Marlins are cheap, but at least they have a radio broadcast team that goes on the road. The Angels owner, well, guess what? For the fourth consecutive season, the Angels radio broadcast duo of Terry Smith and Mark Langston, remember Mark Langston, the pitcher? Yeah, will have to call road games remotely from inside Angel Stadium, like they do in soccer. In soccer, they don't have them travel either. Right. Yeah, well, we had COVID, but I'm sure they're not traveling anyway for radio. I'm 1,000% sure they're not sending them. Anyway, the Toronto Blue Jays are the only other Major League Baseball team with the same arrangement. He says, we found out that it's not changing. We love our radio people. They do a great job. We just found that the economics, 40 to 50,000 miles, is not going to change the experience. An industry expert who's in charge of the financial budget in different MLB teams, the radio crews, the cost for the team between $185,000 to $200,000 for the season. That includes hotel expenses, a per diem that covers food and other necessities. That does not seem like a significant issue for an MLB team, and 28 other teams obviously feel it's not. You know how cheap it is? And this is why this piece of crap, Artie Moreno, should sell the team and get the hell out. Listen, man, if you can't play the billionaires game, don't get in it. That's all. Artie Moreno, you're a minor leaguer. That's it, bro. The guy we got here in town, you're a minor leaguer, dude. You don't have the money to play with the big boys. And by the way, why does Major League Baseball continue to allow people in their business that cannot compete? Bruce Sherman doesn't have the money. Jorge Mas had the money. Mas Brothers had it. And Artie Moreno, I mean, that's a joke, dude. And you're gifted Trout and Ohtani. It's ridiculous. Seriously, what a waste for Mike Trout to have to be his entire career in that crap hole. And then Ohtani, I would ask for so much money that it would force the Angels to trade me. You know, I hope Ohtani and Trout end up in real teams. But I just have a feeling that Trout will end up getting old there and it's over. He's already got a back issue as it is. A serious back issue that's only going to get worse as time goes on. Anyway. You telling me they would sell Marlins to Moss Brothers? This sucks. Well, they had a chance to sell it to the Moss Brothers, but they chose Jeter instead with Bruce Sherman because they wanted Jeter in the business. Because it's good for baseball to have Derek Jeter, one of the great players, and yada, yada, yada. But, brother, Jeter has to be teamed up with somebody that actually has the money. Jesus, really? Draft Hendon Hooker at 51. Oh, here, whatever. Fins up 15. Party in baseball. Spending is pathetic. For God's sake, the freaking Red Sox are too cheap to even field a competitive team now. Yeah, but at least they've spent money and they've won some championships for their fans. Well, I don't know about broke, Matthew. We're broke compared to Sherman. But compared to billion-dollar owners, yeah, he's a minor leaguer, bro. Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break. Give me 2 minutes here. Top of the hour. Get ready for hour number 3 live from Hialeah Park right here on the Big O Radio Show. You know, I tell you guys all the time about Cutter's Edge Pro, man, and what they did with our backyard and made it a pure oasis. That's our Sylvester tree right there. A beautiful day, providing a ton of sunshine. We've got one exactly like this out in the front yard, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's Bono hanging around on the artificial turf. What's up, Bono? What's the word, baby? There you go, wagging that little tail. Maiden, there she is. Ziggy. How you doing, Ziggy? There you go. So we got the doggies hanging out. So just want to give you a little, we got some of the trees starting off from this way with the artificial turf. You see, there's Ziggy again, of course. Got it all the way. And look, we got some flowers coming out. That tree now will start to also spring, and it's absolutely beautiful too. So got all that. They can do all kinds of things for you in your backyard to kind of make it an oasis, which is what we've done. And obviously the dogs can play. What's up, Bono? I got him there hanging out. Maiden, there she is. There she is, the one and only. She's mean as a skunk, by the way. Just want you to know. She's awesome with us, but I mean, if you're a stranger, you don't want to meet mated. So as you can see, and then the artificial turf, remember, there's no watering. There's no cutting the grass. It looks fabulous like this the entire time. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. Back here in this corner is where we put the barbecue. I wheel it out, cook, then I wheel it back in. See, looks beautiful, doesn't it? Flowers are coming out. It's awesome. And then when I want to play a little golf, there's my putting green down the side, which is a beautiful thing. There's one of the holes all the way to the other side where Bono is at. All lights up. It's really beautiful when it lights up. See, we got the rough. Got several. Got one on that side. Got one over there in the corner. Bono's leaving. You got rough all over the place, man. Just in case, you get the ball trapped in there. That's it. That's another swing. Right, Maiden? So, check it out. CuttersEdgePro.com. Make your home an oasis. Make your business, your HOA complex, condominium, you name it, they got you, bro. They do it all. All right? They can cut your trees down. And the artificial turf, I swear by it. Really easy to maintain, and it looks just absolutely freaking beautiful. Cutter's Edge Pro. Right, Ziggy?
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Live from Hialeah Park, baby, where we're ready to give away a Mercedes-Benz on Saturday night at 1 a.m. So come on out here and join me. Me and the wife will be out here Saturday night trying to win that Mercedes-Benz. I'm not joking. I'll be out here Saturday night. I'm going to pull in around 10:30, have some food. Maybe 9:30. Have a little food, relax, go do a little gaming, and then
dancing. You do a little dancing. I want to see. You got any two steps in you?
No, I have it in me. I don't know if I want to do it, but yeah, I have it in me. But yeah, I don't want to. Not sure. I'm more
in there.
I'm more about hanging out and eating more than anything else. And then hopefully watch the wife drive away in a Mercedes.
Sounds like
So,
a plan.
Do they let you drive away that night with it? Probably not, right? That makes sense.
No, because you got to do the paperwork. You got to get registered the next day, Monday.
Exactly.
That following Monday.
Yeah,
but they'll give you the keys.
Yeah,
give you the keys.
Okay,
but they'll but it's.
Yeah, I would figure you have to come back for paperwork.
Yeah,
and all that
it's
on a
funny.
weekday.
So what happens a lot of times? I'm going to let your viewers in on a little bit of a secret.
Okay,
this happens in many, many casinos. We get these great cars. We get, the electric, F-150, the Mercedes, and we've given away boats. And so gamblers win, and they'll come to us and say, you know what? Can I just take like cash instead? Because think about it. A lot of gamblers have a nice car.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're like, I guess the Mercedes is beautiful, but yeah, maybe like, 30 or 40,000 cash would be even more beautiful.
Really?
So what happens is a little bit inside casino. This would be a nice little segment to do. Some just inside knowledge of a casino. I'd say in probably almost 90% of the casino drawings, 80% of the casino drawings in the country, the customers will ask us for cash.
Really?
Yep.
So then what? So then you sell back the Mercedes and get the money?
So we don't own that Mercedes. The dealership owns that right now.
Okay.
Sometimes we do own it. Very rare. I try not to. The dealership owns that. That little shout out to Miami Mercedes, but they obviously have exposure because the car's been sitting there for
sure.
It says North Miami Mercedes. Come on and buy a Mercedes.
Right.
So
right.
And I'll give you another inside thing about the Mercedes. Didn't happen in this car, but it happened on the last two. So we make a deal with the car dealerships and just put a car there. Well, they got 200 cars in their lot. And they take one of them, they put them on our lot. But if they need a white Mercedes, and we have a white Mercedes here, and there's not a white Mercedes on our lot, the next day, our Mercedes is red, and they've sold the white Mercedes, right? And then that does happen, right?
So, by the way, I will accept a red Mercedes on Saturday night. I just want you to know.
No, it's white. Our Mercedes we have down there is white.
No, but if you happen to change it to red, I'm not going to complain.
Okay. Oh, we change next.
Tomorrow, if they come by and they take it and
they take it tomorrow and change the red,
I will not be disappointed.
So my point is that quite often in the casino drawings, I'm letting the secrets out. This is only your viewers know now. The customers want cash. And so most of the time we accommodate. Not all the time we can, but when we can, certainly want to accommodate the customer, and we do.
Okay.
And so it's, which isn't a bad thing. If you're already driving a nice car,
right. No, it makes sense.
You're driving a nice
okay,
Lexus or
so
Audi.
Wait a minute. So how does it happen then?
So we give you cash or check, whatever you want.
Oh.
Whatever you want that night.
Okay.
So you can come back on Monday and we'll do the paperwork. You do have to pay the taxes and the transfer fees, right? Or in about 6 or 7 minutes, I can give you a check or cash. What would you like?
Right.
And some guys say,
yeah, cash.
I'll take the cash.
Yeah,
and
I'll take the cash.
in 6 or 7 minutes, they got 30,000 cash in their pocket.
Right. Okay.
And maybe they could turn that into 60,000 gambling.
Did that happen? So that happened with the last two?
It happened with the F-150.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Son of a
bitch. The guy said, he goes, he drove it. He actually took a little time. He actually drove it. We let him drive it. And he says, nah, I'll take the cash. How's that?
I would have wanted that truck.
You know what?
I wanted that truck badly.
The last car that I remember.
That's a badass truck, bro.
Get this. We had a muscle car. It was like it was about a few years ago. We had this red, like Dodge Charger or something like that. It was a muscle car.
I think I remember.
And it was cool. It was a really nice car, but super muscle. Like it wasn't like a smooth luxury ride or anything, right? And this woman wins it. And she's a pretty good customer of ours. And I'm thinking, I guess I take the cash, right? And she said, I've been looking at that car for the last 60 days. I come here like twice a week. Just give me the keys. And she took that muscle car. It was the last person on the planet that I would have thought would have taken the muscle car, right? We had one. I had another one too. We were giving a boat away. Pretty nice boat, like a 20-foot, center console, and had a trailer, boat engine. And the guy wins it. And he's freaking out. He's so happy. and he's going to give it to his son. Right, his son's right there. His son's like about 35 years old, and going to give it to his son, and they're just going nuts. They're going to have
son wants the cash.
No, I don't know what happened to this day. But they go have something to eat, and they're just so happy, right? They come back like an hour later. They're going to give us an answer, and they're like angry, and because I think they weren't on the same page.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, they don't want the boat anymore. They want cash. I don't know who wanted what, but I know one thing: they weren't on the same page, and I don't think that. I know another thing too: the son didn't get the boat. I can tell you that.
Son probably told the old man, because the old man goes, "I'm gonna give you the boat, but hey, I'm gonna need it every once in a while." No, Dad, no, it's my boat. No.
It was weird.
And then that's it. You're not gonna lend me the boat that I'm gonna give you? No.
I think so. Something like that.
The son had the boat sold.
One of those stories is definitely possible. Definitely possibilities. But
put a picture. He put it already out there.
Yeah.
He had offers.
He had it on Facebook. It's for sale. But so we have some fun with the car giveaways. The muscle car with the woman who won the muscle car was fantastic. She drove
awesome.
it. She came that Monday or she came about 3-4 days later, and she's like literally, burning some rubber, the whole 9 yards, getting the tires to smoke. This lady was like, in her 60s. The last thing I thought she would ever desire was to burn rubber with a muscle car.
Does she still visit this place?
Sure does.
Okay, just want to make sure she's
still
alive.
I don't know if she's still. I don't know.
Sounded like a woman that likes to go fast. I'm just saying,
I don't know if she still has that car though. I should ask her. I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks, but I'll have to ask her. But so anyhow, we're having the Mercedes on April 1st, 1:00
Saturday night. Come on out here, 1 a.m., which is like leading into Sunday. So be here Saturday night at 1 a.m., and that's when they're going to give away the Mercedes-Benz. Now, you have to play the machines downstairs, all the the loosest slots in Florida. You get to play those, so you might win some stuff there, and then you never know. The more you play, the more entries you get, and then you'll have a chance to win a Mercedes-Benz on Saturday night. It's pretty cool.
And now let's move on to the next topic.
What do we got going?
We got poker here. I got to tell you, I don't know if your viewers know. We have some great high hands. Obviously, you just go on our website and you'll see the high hands. We have the 4,000 an hour high hand. We do it 2 or 3 times a month. It's really spectacular. We just did it a few days ago. But so that's fantastic. But we also, I want your viewers to know, we have these designated player games, which is heads up hold'em and potluck hold'em. It looks like a blackjack table. It's not blackjack. I want to make sure that your listeners understand that it's not blackjack, but I'm telling you, these games are growing. People are loving them.
Heads up hold'em right here in front of us.
And Super Omaha Poker. The people love them. Their odds are very good for the player. And so it's one of the reasons that poker is growing for us in the last 12 months. It's these games right here. We started with 4, then we went to 6. We currently have 8. We currently have 6, and we're going to 8. You're going to see we went from 4 to 6, and we're going to 8. We just brought the tables in from the supplier. So this is a thing that's growing, a trend, and it's like a blackjack play, but you're playing a derivative of poker. Either heads up hold'em, which is basically, Ultimate Texas Hold'em with better odds. All heads up hold'em is. So Ultimate Texas Hold'em is owned by a company called Scientific Games. Heads up hold'em is owned by Galaxy. They're the same exact game, except our heads up hold'ems pay a little better odds.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. So, we lease these games from people that own them. Super Omaha Poker, that's just a game that our customers, we have to add more. One of the 2 games we're adding is going to be another Super Omaha. And so that's another good game. And it's a lot of action. It's for people that like poker and like to play it in the blackjack style. Wow, it's real good. It could be expensive.
Okay.
It's not anybody with a faint heart to play the game, It's a little bit, you got multiple bets, you got
but you can win big too.
Yeah. The payouts are very, very good. The payouts are really good. So I noticed like Sean was like, he didn't even like flinch. when I said it's expensive.
Well,
are you paying him
know,
too much or what?
I pay him way too much. Way too much. I mean, all the money goes to him. Jeez, he carries the damn show anyway. So yeah, of course, we have to pay him. He carries the whole damn show.
And
so,
and I know that we always talk a little about. I'm going to shift gears again. Do you mind?
No, go ahead. Shift.
I just want to let all of your viewers know.
Shift it like a lady driving a power vehicle.
But I just want to say this so that we have it on video and audio that I'm a Dolphin fan. I think the Dolphins are going to have a very good season.
Oh, God. What are you talking about, the Jets and Aaron Rodgers now?
No. Forget who cares about Jets and Aaron Rodgers other than beating him. I love the fact what the Dolphins have done with the defense.
Okay.
I love the Jalen, the whole thing.
Where's the butt?
It's coming. Big one right here.
I'm going to just go on record to say, the definition of insanity is to expect different results with the same things you do. It's doing the same thing. I think they should have upgraded. I know you keep saying who, but there was at least 5 people available. They should have upgraded the running back position. And I think they could have, and they should have. And so I think that's going to be the Achilles heel.
Both guys average 4.5 yards a carry.
But why not add somebody else to that mix? The other 2 guys are below average, in my opinion. Miles, come on.
Ahmed also. No, Miles is the 4th guy.
I know, but why not?
Wilson and Mostert average 4.5 and 4.7. And Ahmed, look it up. It's over 4 yards also a carry as the 3rd guy.
We talked about this. I see your point.
Yeah,
it's going to be the Achilles heel. And I got one more Achilles heel.
No. The offensive line is what needs to improve, and the running backs will be even better.
Well, so here's one more Achilles heel, and you might throw me out. You might not ever invite me back when I say.
And by the way, Mike McDaniel admitted that he abandoned the running game at times.
And we talked about that. He should have. I just think the running game is going to be an issue again. No, it's not. I'm not going to bring up the name. But I think it's a mistake for not utilizing, whether it's last year or even this year, not utilizing the tight end position in a more offensive thing. No, I didn't say Gesicki. For not utilizing.
They didn't have the guy. And I
don't think they got the guy now. So there's 2.
I think it's the draft. I think
I hope.
And they have a project kid that they're working on that they love because he flies like the wind.
2 Achilles heels.
Tanner Connor.
Running game and the tight end usage. Both actually, when you think about it, it's not really it's the usage of the running game,
right,
and the usage of the tight end. I think that's an Achilles heel. Let's talk, 8 games into the season, and you could tell me like if we're 7-1, you say, Steve, how's the running game now, Steve? And where's Gesicki? I heard he's got like 22 catches in New England, and they're all but I'm telling you, it just seems. Look, I'm rooting for him. I'm in the front row of the end zone, screaming and hollering. You'll see my beer on the game clock. That's where my seat is. So. It's just that I think those are 2. But the defense should be pretty much lights out. And what wins championships? Defense.
Yes.
So I'm pretty, I'm approaching it with guarded optimism.
Yeah. No, I listen, with Fangio, I'm expecting, obviously, to have a terrific defense overall. And I think the offense will get better as long as you dedicate yourself more to the running game than you did last year. And then find that playmaking tight end.
We'll see. Well, look, the other thing that we do have the 2 receivers are
probably all right. They're half decent. They're serviceable.
Serviceable, right?
You can get by. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's out there.
You can get by with Tyreek.
And by the way, OBJ is getting older every day, too. I'm sure that his 40 ain't what it used to be. I can tell you that. But
well, he lowered his price now to $15 million, so hop on board.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be – I think my prediction, 4th game of the season, he's still unemployed.
He might be because if he's kind of a knucklehead. So yeah.
Well, at $15 million.
I don't think anybody's going to even offer him 10.
Yeah.
I think they're going to offer him a couple million and say, here's incentives.
Yeah.
If you can stay healthy and put up the numbers, you'll make this money. If you don't stay healthy and put up the numbers, you'll make $1.5 million. That's what I think. Somebody's going to offer him a $2-3 million contract or 4 maybe and say, Sorry, kid. The rest is incentives. We got no money for you. You can't stay healthy, and you're inconsistent. So great player, great talent, but not a great player. Great talent. But the thing is, it's another knee injury now, and you don't know how he's going to come back from that thing.
So I have one last thing,
and a guy I can't trust either.
One last thing. I'm reading some. I get all the industry stuff, and some DraftKings stuff comes over often.
Mm-hmm.
And they did you can bet the over and under on number of wins for the Dolphins. Did you know what the number is?
I think the number is 9.5. I believe
9.5. Last year
it was 8.5.
Last year, well, it was 8.5. DraftKings was 9.
I got it. I got it at 8.5.
And it may have been at 1.8.5, but DraftKings was at 9, and DraftKings this year is at 9.5.
I'm betting that.
That's a tough one.
No,
That's a tough one.
It's not tough for me.
In that division?
If they stay healthy, they should win 10.
Healthy, they got a shot.
No, I think they win. I think they're winning the division. Sorry.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's a fan.
Yeah.
That's a
fan.
fan.
I don't look at it as a fan. I think they are the best team in the division if they're healthy.
I still worry in that division. I still worry about
Buffalo, of course.
Come on, Buffalo's a real deal.
They should have beat them 3 times last year.
Yeah,
they should have won every game against Buffalo last year. So you get me a healthy Tua, and you got things going on. I think Miami wins against.
So you're
Buffalo.
betting 9.5. You're taking the 9.5.
I'm taking that. 9.5.
I haven't made my bet, so maybe I'll listen to your advice.
I'm going over. They will easily win 10 games this year.
Wow.
You added Fangio, bro, to the defense.
That's I said it earlier.
And then
defense
everybody's coming
make
back
a difference.
everybody's coming back to the same offense. You're not changing coaches and offensive coordinators or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to now add to the offense. And I think you're just going to be better when it's all said and done. And you added Jalen Ramsey, dude. How in the hell are you going to pass against those guys?
That whole defense is going to be that's going to be to reckon with. And I like what
the defense. The defense alone should win you an extra game or 2.
Yeah, the secondary, secondary part.
Well, the front 7 has to get pressure to help that secondary. But it has to go both ways, because if you don't pressure the quarterback, doesn't matter what cornerback you are, you can't run with receivers all day long.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I thought for sure 8.5.
Yeah. He was sweating. He was sweating it.
Sweating it out.
Well, you got it. You got it the last
game.
game.
We got it. Winning is winning,
yeah.
bro.
A W is a W. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 point or 32.
You win. I'm taking. Yeah. Well, we were like 8-3, bro.
Well, even the first 4 games, it was 3-1, right?
No, but they were 8-3, and I'm 8.5. So I'm thinking like
you got to win 1 more game.
Just need one pin, Rodney. Just one pin. So but this year I am confident in the Dolphins that they will be better than they were last year.
You might have just sold me on making the bet. They got to win 10.
They only have 10. They're not 1 game better than they were last year with Jalen Ramsey and Vic Fangio.
And Fangio.
That's it. And you weren't even healthy. They were so beat up, and they still almost beat Buffalo. And if it wasn't for McDaniel not getting the play in on time on 4th and 1 and make it 4th and 6, you might convert that and you might end up beating Buffalo in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you're going to get healthy and you're going to add Jalen Ramsey?
Well, look, I hate to say this.
I
think I'm on board with you.
I love this Dolphin team. I love this Dolphin team.
I'm on board with you. I'm worried. I'm always worried about.
That's the past.
I'm worried about.
That's the past.
The NFL is a violent game. It's tough.
I know.
Some of the best teams.
I get it.
They have a great first 8 games, and then
bad luck is bad luck. That you can't.
But injuries are injuries, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that. But I'm just saying, injuries aside, because that can happen to any team, and that can derail any team in any sport. That's fine. But if we're not talking about injuries, and we're just talking about the talent on the field,
they got a shot. They got a legitimate shot.
I love the Dolphins this season.
All right, I'm going to bet it then.
Yeah,
that's on the. That's up my parting shot is. I'm making the. I'm going to go to my computer now and make the wager, because the damn thing could go up.
Yes,
it could go up. It could blip.
Yeah,
and then you got to get 11, and that's going to be. There's a little bit of. It's a little bit of difference.
Although at a half a game, maybe not a whole game, but yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what will happen?
9.5, 10. Yeah, that's true. You can't get to 10.5. So
Yeah.
you'll have to get to 11. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, no, 9.5 is I think
All
is a bet you have to take.
So this is like I come here to see you guys, and I can make some money listening to the season.
If you've been listening to me and you would have taken some Bitcoin, you would have made yourself a lot of money already at this point.
You listen,
75% since January 1st.
I get it. But there's a lot of things you can make money with in the market.
Not 75%.
Not 75%. But
there is no asset in the world that is up 75% since January 1st.
Really?
None. Nada.
Well, it took
nay.
because it took a nosedive last year.
No, it didn't take a nosedive. See, that's the
It
misconception.
was at 30. It went to 18, 16.
It went from 8 to 67. And where do you think it's realistic for any kind of asset in the world to explode from 8,000 to 67 and maintain?
Yeah, that's true.
It's not going to happen. Anything that goes parabolic comes back down because that's the way it is. And I'll give you a little insight on what happened and why it went to 67. Do you know why it went to 67?
No.
Because a lot of people thought that a recession was coming, and a recession didn't come. So they pulled their money out. Guess what's coming?
A recession.
Guess what's crumbling? The dollar.
Yeah.
Guess what's being used less and less around the world by countries and exchanging now? The dollar.
Guess what's getting purchased? Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why it's gone from 16.5 to hit 29,000 last night. That's 75% climb. It's up 300% since 2020. What asset in the world is up 300%, over 300% since the beginning of 2020? None, nada, nay.
But really, the big move was since January. If you got in the end of 2022, which was
and if you were
big
smart,
effort.
instead of looking at it and saying, "Oh, it's too volatile, it went down." No, it's incredibly powerful that it went up that much. And what you don't do is buy it at 67 or 57. Like any asset, if it's at $1.50 and it jacks up to $9, you don't buy it at $8 or $9. Because it was at $1.50, it's going to come back down again. You wait for the dip and then you buy. And that was the misconception with Bitcoin. And this happens with a lot of people. See, you're an investor.
Yeah, but I never
answered, but you answered me right away with the right answer that you said, "Oh yeah, no, it's unrealistic for it to stay."
Yeah,
because no asset in the world goes from 8,000 to 67 and holds itself. So now you've watched it; it went right back down, right, and now it started climbing again. But now it's climbing slowly.
Yeah, it's a nice growth. It's a steady growth now.
It's not so steady. Nothing goes from 16,000 to 20. Nothing is worth 16,000. Let's just first start out with that. What asset in the world do you buy at 16,000? Not even gold, not silver.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Nothing.
Way less.
Nothing. You don't buy Tesla. You don't buy Amazon at 16,000. So it goes from 16,000. It goes all the way to 29 now. So and it's been building floors along the way at 19, at 21, at 24, and
but
on 25.
On a personal note, just so you know,
and at the same time, while the dollar's going down, that's where the money is going. People are going there because banks are crumbling. The dollar's being used less around the world.
It's an alternative.
And it's going to be the alternative.
But for me, just so you know, this is a personal thing. I went, in the last 5 years, I went real conservative because I'm 64 years old.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Bitcoin for a 64-year-old, there's a lot of people that made a lot of money in Bitcoin, and they're still making a lot of money in Bitcoin, especially in the last year or two. But it's just not my world because of my personal situation. I'm in the home stretch. You know what I mean? Not everybody.
Yeah, but I got to tell you something right now. Right now, you're better off. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying you're better off putting your money in Bitcoin than you are in the bank.
I hear that.
The dollar loses 6 to 8% every year. Okay, in the last month, Bitcoin has outperformed gold, the stock market, and the dollar.
Oh yeah, easily,
and the dollar's down like $1 something. But
I'm not looking for a home run.
Huh?
I'm 64. I'm not looking for the home run.
No, you don't need it.
I'm looking to preserve and to.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm a little in a different situation.
What's going to preserve more is Bitcoin, because what's not going to preserve is your money in the bank. Because if inflation is up at 5 or 6%, and you got your money in the bank or your savings, and what are you earning? 0.5%, 1/4%?
No.
Or if you're in a money market, maybe you got
T-bonds are 4.5.
4.5. Okay, so if you got T-bonds, that's 4.5.
You know what was good?
At 4.5, you're still under inflation.
Yeah, I understand that.
You're still not making money.
But remember, I'm trying to preserve.
But you're
I'm
you're
going backwards
losing
on the inflation side.
Yes, you're buying less and less.
Now,
whereas with Bitcoin down the line, you will end up buying more.
There is
and more.
one thing that I like. I'm a conservative.
You'll buy more eggs with Bitcoin and less with $1.
But I'm a very conservative guy. But I wish this was not the case. I always tell people to do this, and I bought it. Was I-bonds.
Right.
I-bonds are inflation bonds. Back in June, they were 9%, and I bought them, right?
Right.
And but the problem with I-bonds, it's a great investment, conservative. It's not a Bitcoin thing. It's just like now they're about 5 or 6% because it's equal to the inflation rate.
Right.
Right. So it's equal to the inflation rate, and you buy it. The problem is you're limited to $10,000 a year.
Right.
That's the problem. I-bonds are for a conservative investor. They're very good.
And wait till the government adds USDC, then they're going to add even more limitations to you.
But
see, that's the problem with our reserve. That's the problem with all of this. That kind of stuff is unacceptable.
I know it wouldn't it be great if it wasn't 10,000 limit? That would be fabulous.
That's why decentralized financing will be
I
freeing the world.
I get it. But I'm a viejo.
I get it. No, I totally understand. Going the safe route. Is always the better way in your case. I get it. I get it.
Anyhow,
I get
it's all good. I wish I would have got in it.
Yeah.
Got in it.
Still can get in it. Still can get in it. That thing's gonna go 100,000, 200,000 down the line, baby. It's gonna be amazing.
It's all good. I did tell your viewers about I-bonds. Let them know. The conservative ones. There got to be some conservative viewers.
Oh, for sure. Sure. Very few of them are probably into Bitcoin. Very few. Very little people in the world are in it.
My son's
point.
in it big.
Yeah,
but my son's 30 years old.
Yeah, he's smart.
He's a computer programmer. I'll give a shout out to my son. So my son is the lead programmer. I don't know if you know this company, GoPuff. You know GoPuff?
No.
GoPuff is an online convenience store.
Okay.
Started by two 28-year-old, they were 24 at the time, Drexel University students.
Sounds like a place they sell weed. Go Puff.
Well, that's a long story off air that I'll tell you about there with the weed thing. But so they do $2 million a day in revenue.
Okay.
Right. So Amazon, you buy some Amazon, it'll be there in 24 hours or so. Pretty good, right?
Right.
Go Puff, be there in about 40 minutes.
Okay.
Now it's stuff like beer.
So it's like
hot Doritos.
It's like an Uber Eats.
It's like going to 7-Eleven online, and right now they've got like about 5 or 6 billion invested.
So basically, the people that were Puff passing are the ones calling Go Puff with the munchies.
Well,
my
son will tell you the story about why it got to be named Go Puff. Okay, okay. He went to school with these kids. They knew he was a good programmer. He's a superstar programmer, so he's their lead programmer. You go on the app, Go Puff, $2 million of revenue a day.
That's pretty good.
And where does it work? It works in places like Ann
College towns,
Ann Arbor, Michigan, State College. It is in Miami. We're in Miami too,
right?
And it's doing well. I mean, they're in like 400 markets. These guys, the owners started at 24. They're 30 years old. My son's 30. And they have hundreds of employees. They're headquartered in Philadelphia. It's just it's most college kids know Go Puff because you're out partying, you're at the dorm, you bring a case of beer, we're drinking. Also, oh shit, we only got like 3 or 4 beers left. You go on your app, you hit the button. 30 minutes later, there's another case of beer.
Unless you're at LSU, you can go break into the stadium and steal their beer like they did.
Well, that's a little more, kids. Yeah. But still, you got to get out. Got to go out of your apartment. Maybe you have the Go Puff driver steal for you.
There you go. There you go. Go steal.
But anyhow, Go Puff. If I ever, I have to talk to my son to be able to tell the story that he told me about how the name came about. So
okay.
Right now, it's a online convenience store. But there you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Go Puff credit on each Chase credit card. All right.
Go Puff.
I have a Chase.
Believe me, the young crowd all knows it. The the 18 to 28-year-old crowd, they all know it. I'm talking to a woman the other day. She said, I tell her about Go Puff. She doesn't know. And she said, well, my daughter went to University of Central Florida. She texts her and she goes, Ma, I bought a case or something. I bought some booze and some snacks last night on Go Puff. And she's like 24, graduate student. Like, it's like a whole different world.
Right.
But, now I buy on Go Puff because
it helps your son.
Yeah. And on his birthday on December 21st, he likes Yingling. He gets a case of Yingling.
Okay.
Every year, and he complains to me. He says, Dad, why do you do that? We have the same name, so it sets off all kinds of things in the computer program that one of the employees is buying beer during the.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, and I have to call the operations people.
You guys ever thought of a senior and a junior there? By the way.
No, we keep it confusing. We like that. Yeah, it's much more.
I had the same name as my dad, and I would once in a while.
Were you senior and junior?
They were. Yeah, we were senior and junior.
No, he has a different middle name.
And I had to make sure I always used junior because there were times where it was like, wait a minute, you're not that old, and no, that's my dad. That's not me, or whatever.
Well, no, I'm Stephen Richard.
Okay.
Calabro. He's Stephen Anthony because he's named after his godfather, who's my best friend Tony.
Okay.
And an Italian guy can't, you got to have the name Tony. So I wanted to give my son the middle name of Tony.
Okay.
So we're not exactly junior seniors, which is even more confusing.
Yeah, but if you don't put the middle name, then you won't get it.
Most of the time we don't.
It won't define itself. So,
yeah. Anyhow, so Go Puff it is, and a
Mercedes-Benz on Saturday night. Love it.
Take care, boss.
Appreciate you.
Have a good one.
There you go.
Take care.
That is Steve Calabro, baby, from Hialeah Park, general manager here at Hialeah Park. We thank Andy Behrens. We thank Alan Poupart, of course, for joining us. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend that drives and masters this entire platform every single day. Tomorrow morning, we will be live at Acura, right? We're at Acura, right? Acura Pembroke Pines tomorrow at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. We will see you there tomorrow at 10 a.m. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a fantastic one.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.